who tries to speed themselves up with a time war. Mega Inferno Bomb has got himself that revival available. Does get the Chrono Shift down. Basel looking at Jankos, all the Von Belia, getting to be run down by Svaro and, of course, Treat. All the while, all out from Chachi. What is going on? They've lost Hido. It's a 2-for-1. They finally bring down the jungler, but not before losing Jankos on the way. Faust looking for more. Crowdy sped up. He is a very speedy bee, and he doesn't die after stinging just the once. And it's not even him who gets the kill. It's Faust on the AP Crackers. What?
Music, I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm the influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop, pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke, I was down bad. Swear I'm never going back. I'm from upstate where we see a little bit of this.
Oh, what is going on here? This is the weirdest stand-up I've seen. Jake, though, makes himself very angry indeed. Flash on board, Hans Prime on top of Feinsky. Jake low, just outright of the fast bomb. Could go over the wall. Broken on Komsky. Keyburn. Valor trying to stay alive. He's going towards Fastimus. On the monsoon healing's not enough. Jake, Hans for the flash out, keeps him alive. The soldiers sent forward on top of Congolese. Karma, unfortunately, looking against Ruddy right now. Shuffle on board with the shifting sands. The Emperor's divide. And DMG still win the extended play.
I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself 8 times, no trick. Give me the loot. Word on my palm at the top of the game. Still on the shit.
They kind of suck today. Equalize with a choke point. Trying the Weaver's wall. Knock up because the Poppy W is there and waiting for them. Steadfast presence. It's an utter bloodbath. Yunara gets the rumble. Kevo stepping on forward.
Oh my god, hold on.
Unlimited power. Quadra kill. Could look for another untargetable angle.
Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks cause the checks bounce. I don't chap out that, I'm the best out. And I did all of this with a pen and a...
2 seconds on Jankos' flash. I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Is he going to try and flip it? Shock laser across the wall down to 2K space. Scout of the week comes on up, and Nemesis also shot low. Can't do it! Sibis somehow is the one who secures it with, I think, a boomerang blade. Chachi's going to pop the dominant, but they've already lost the trundle. Decimated Smash comes on down. Ultra Shock laser also there. But now Chachi in danger. He's just not a very tanky crocodile. He is outdated and obsolete. Charging on forward the unstoppable onslaught. And Crowdy with the triple will ensure that everyone knows who exactly is the king in the NLC.
Now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take, this no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music, I just get into it. I can't get influenced.
Chains of Corruption have come forwards there. Monkey has been caught. They're looking for Nicolex. He's going to get caught by the knockoff. Arcanus is able to find the kills. The curtain gets caught in the middle of the fight. It's 1 kill already for Bulldog. A huge magnet storm from Don Pong into the Deadly Flourish. They're answering out. But Dream's been able to find a kill as the teleport comes back and Hunt rejoins the fray. Protobel's forward, tries to find the R1 off onto Samsung, gets the shutdown. His health bar is obliterated as Bizgard finds the double in response. They find the scatter. They find the lockdown. Lightside will take the fight.
Cheers for me. Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up, get up and go.
And Samson's finding a flank angle. Kassim jumps onto the backline, finds the 3-man knocker. Don Pong is going to get killed in the middle of the fight, but so is Kassim. And this fight is on a nice edge. Hunt is so low here. The wind wall keeps him alive, but not forever. Dream this time is the one soloed by Golden Penny, who gets the double kill. A 0. Oh, Santa Golden Penny! The triple comes in at the last second of the fight.
Yeah, they talk, I don't say a lot. I just walk, so I'm moving loud. Really keep it low key, I don't like crowds. Really keep it OG, I don't like clowns. Really keep it just me, I'm the best out. I don't try to keep up, I don't stress out. I don't cash no checks, cause the checks bounce. I don't chat back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Northern League of Legends Championship. It is time. We have another best of 5, and whoever loses is out. They're going to spectator mode, and they can join us on the party and the fun as well. This is going to be a big one, so that's why I need heavy reinforcements. I'm bringing back to the desk Aragon and the big beard guy, Duck.
Yo, Duckling is not heavy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. F in the chat for Duckling's beard.
I lost the beard, guys. I look like such a kid now. Holy.
How do you lose the beard?
Wow.
Bro
I
shaved
was-
5 years off.
I was trimming it today, and I was getting the line there. That looked good. Then I wanted to get a line here. Cut it like way too low, and it looked horrible. It looked like the Game Master from Hunger Games in the first one, where the beard was just very low down here. So I had
Can
to
I ask
cut
you
it all
something?
off. Sorry.
I think Aragon hit the nail. Are you not like Danish?
I mean, it's been 2
have
hours.
you not
How
got
could-
Viking blood in you?
Do you think it comes back in like 30 minutes? I shave my beard and then it's back in 30 minutes. Like,
So you're
it's been
saying
half a day.
How
You
long
can't
of
even
a
see
time
my
frame are we
scar
working with?
here with the beard. Like, what do you mean? And like,
How many days
that
are we
was-
working with? Will it be there for NLC finals? Can
No,
the audience?
Ooh.
No.
Can we do a chat prediction? Will
beard.
Duckling get a beard?
It won't
That would
be nice
cool.
enough for the finals. There was like
Okay,
a
you know
stage
what?
where it didn't look all too good. So it needs like either 3 weeks or just 1 week maximum. So
I trust you're gonna have a beard by then, and until then, let's see what we have for the menu today. It's only one cities, but it's gonna be a big one. DMG versus Verdant. Look at DMG. They destroyed, dismantled, ready. They went on Venom Crest, and there was not even a single dispute. And now they're facing versus Verdant, who everybody thought could be the team. They brought LR to a 55 minutes plus game, but they lost versus Rich Gang, and we'll talk about it today. And they're now facing, well, elimination. Whoever wins from today will be able to fight for an opportunity to go to EMEA Masters. We already have 2 teams on the upper bracket going to EMEA. We need another one. And whoever also goes to leagues this route. What are we feeling about today? You know what? Brings predictions, and then we can talk about it.
Go on, Duckling. I see you're eager. I can see
Duckling?
it.
I'm feeling good. I think this series does have its clear favorite, and I think the votes show that. It is very Verdant favored. You just mentioned what they expected coming into the split. But with DMG 3-0ing Venom Crest in such dominant fashion, I wanted to give them a game because I feel like there are ways they can throw Verdant off their pedestal and take at least one.
Hiprain, you're such a weirdo, mate. Like, why have we locked in 3-1 for DMG?
Oh,
It's so
DMG.
strange. I mean, I just don't.
Basically.
Okay, is it based? It's a word for it.
It's
no,
based,
I think
it's
it's gonna be a
based.
3-0. And now I am looking forward most to this series. I will say, I think the biggest storyline, overarching narrative that we have is like DMG. There's 2 separate groups in this league. Being completely
Okay.
brutally honest, there's the top 4 and then the rest. And I think DMG is the best of the rest. So just seeing how well DMG match up to the top 4, this is the bottom team of the top 4, unless you can say it's Nord. The best of the rest versus Verdant, it's going to be a very interesting clash. Let's see if DMG could take a couple games.
I like that. And if you want to see the teams who are going to the finals of Summer Split, we've had a wonderful year, by the way. Join us. Where? Sweden, Stockholm. Leagues is route. Use the QR code and join us. Buy your ticket. We still have a few of them available. So that is your opportunity to get close to the stage. Not only watch the finals, not only watch the opening that's going to be big, but
It's crazy.
also watch a concert on K-pop. We have K-pop going
Yeah.
to the venue.
And
yeah.
Also,
Ooh,
the
what else?
players are life size in this picture. So, like, just prepare yourself for Attack on Titan. I think
Wow,
is
Reckless
the real
is big.
is the real thing we're going for. It's exciting.
Wow. I was gonna say Duckling would do something, but to be honest, without that beard, I have no hope whatsoever for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I really feel like I've disappointed myself and all of you here today. But one thing that won't disappoint, though, is this series. Because I think, though, it is a sleeper banger. Aragon put it perfectly, right? The small outside of the big 4 dogs, and I think Verdant, with their performances, the closest one to being there. I thought Rich Gang, they were my outsider to join the big 3 we had initially, and they did do that, right? So let's see if we can have someone else kick someone out of the big 4 and join them instead. And DMG, the best bet we have.
Okay, but this is your opportunity to also redeem yourself, Duckling, because we are going.
no,
to
not already.
play a game show. Let me just open Twitch for NLC so you can
doing it too.
participate on this as well. Okay,
Hey,
chat.
don't read. You can't read the chat, Aragon. Close that
Oh,
down.
Yeah, Aragon, you can't, you can't, you can't, you
Close
can't.
it. If I ever glance to
I'm
the right,
bringing
I'm
the
cheating.
chat into this one. Chat, you can play Who Am I? Quote edition.
Oh, not again. I hate these. I hate these.
I mute voice lines, man. All right, okay, let's go.
Chat, this is your opportunity
cooked,
to just
Aragon.
clean the floor of these two. First quote. Where are we going? To Sweden, baby.
Oh, my hand wasn't in the frame, man. That's not fair.
That's too bad.
Okay. I don't know who wants to take this one. Who wants to take
I'll
this
take
one?
it first.
Duckling,
because
Duckling.
I think my guess is one of the qualified ones. I'm gonna say Yumi.
Yumi,
someone
that
where
is
they
a
go
good
in, They're out of
idea.
control, but there is another guess I have in my mind. But
All right, I got one.
It's
It's a
not.
Mumu. It's a Mumu.
it's not Yumi.
Why would it be a
Why would it be a
Mumu?
Mumu?
It's a Yordle. It's either a Mumu or Teemo. Okay, I'm sure.
Ah,
It-
that's a good prediction.
It goes-
By the way, don't punctures join the chat and instantly got it
Again?
correct.
Can I have another guess before we go to the next quote? Aragon has
Okay.
guessed.
Okay, give
Then
it.
I'm thinking it's Nunu. He's asking Willem where we're going because Nunu is
It's
riding
like,
us.
where are we going?
Goat.
It's like,
Goat.
where are we going?
Duckling, that is really good, and that's why we got it correct for Aragon. It's
Hell
Amumu.
yeah! I told
It's
you.
is that a
Look,
Mumu?
he goes, where
Yeah.
are
Why
we
is that
going,
a
Kyo? I
Mumu?
know that voice line, man. I know it.
The second one is Let's Be Friends Forever, and I thought you never pick me.
See, I
That
would have
was
gotten the
third
last one. I would have gotten the last one.
Obviously, the last ones are always easy. Let's go for the second champion, getting a little bit harder now. The darker the night, the brighter the stars.
That's a Lowy.
Aragon goes for Ilawi, doesn't even raise his hand, just straight up. Duckling, who do you lock in?
Is it Nessus?
I have no idea why would you say that, but I'll accept that answer. Do you want to lock it in?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, well,
I
that's
know
wrong.
what it sounds like, but I'm not sure 100%. I think it is Lowy.
Ilawi, it's also not there. And hey, the chat
Darker the
got
night,
it
the brighter
correct.
the sun. Oh, it's Braum, no?
Let's
Yeah,
move
yeah.
to the second one. Is it the moustache?
Yeah, it's Braum.
Yeah. Let me
Man.
put my hand up though because I'm doing it
Aragon raised.
correctly.
Aragon said Brom already.
Yeah, that
Sorry,
doesn't matter though. He
Duckling.
didn't put his hand up. No.
Bro,
See,
he's
that is-
such a
that is
teacher.
disgusting.
He's such a teacher,
I do-
isn't he?
Yeah, I've been a substitute teacher.
He's
Man.
like-
Rules are rules.
You need to
Disgusting.
adapt to your
That's
classroom,
rigged.
Duckling. Didn't everyone ever
You
tell
know
you
what?
that?
Okay.
One of my most played
Duckling.
champions is Braum as well. How do I not know
From
that?
now on, that means you have to raise your hand to give
Okay.
the answer, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, Duckling, you get a point. Aragon has a point. Chat has 3 points already. They're just too good. They're just smurfing. Is it the mustache? No, it's not, because Duckling has no beard. It is Brom. That's a correct one. The heart of Freljord. Third champion. May death free us all. Dark.
I have no clue.
This is
I have no
dark.
clue.
That's like a new champion. That's like a Darkin or something.
A new champion. I like it. I like it.
Let me raise my hand. And then say
Duckling
someone
raised it
who's
first.
Duckling.
He raised it first somehow. Yeah.
Nah, it's not actually Aatrox.
Come on, give me a name.
I feel like it's something
Give me
a
a name.
reworked Aatrox would say, but that's not.
Give
the
me a
new
name.
champion. I'm saying Aatrox then. It's wrong. But
I was gonna
Aatrox,
slam Aatrox. I
not
was slamming
even
Aatrox.
correct.
What?
Aragon, you're also far away. That is not it.
Yeah, we were both on the same page.
Second
Yeah.
clue. Pain is the
Oh, it's
herald
okay. I
of
know.
your salvation.
It's Victor. It's Victor.
It's Victor.
Yeah.
that sounds like a very good guess. from Arcane.
Victor, you want to
That
lock it
sounds
in?
like an
Locking
arcane
in.
quote. Yeah.
Locking
yeah,
Lock
it is
in.
Victor.
Duckling,
It
do you
is
want to
Victor.
take any guess?
Herald gives
no.
it away.
Yeah, it's right. It's correct. Correct, right?
Oh, you okay? The chat got it correct. And Aragon, you have it wrong.
What?
It is a wrong.
We are horrible at this.
Let's go for the third one. This is easy for you. Agony, ecstasy,
Oh, okay,
peace.
okay.
Every passing
it's
has
Evelyn,
a beauty.
It's Evelyn. It's Evelyn.
No.
You want to look at it, Evelyn?
Is it not? I think it
I-
is.
I'm just
man.
asking,
You know
I'm
what?
just
At this
asking.
point, I'm lost. Okay,
Let
I'm
me
going
guess,
Evelyn.
let
I'm
me
just
guess.
asking. Yeah, Duckling.
Jin.
Ah! Nope.
Is that it?
Nope. You Zururu! Man, you got it correct. Why are you changing your name? Why are you
Who is-
changing the champion? You already have it correct.
I
The
don't
chat
know
got it
this one.
correct. They know.
I don't know this one.
Carthus is the answer
Is
for
it?
this one.
I
It
never
is
played. Who
Carthus.
plays Cathus, man?
I've played like 3 games of Carthus in my
Yeah,
life.
same.
Absolutely not.
I think that's
Not
a skill
not
gap.
a chance. Yeah, fair enough.
It
I'll
has
take
been
it.
destroyed. Carthus is no longer, yeah. Fourth one. Sometimes you're the catch. sometimes you are the bait.
I've heard that quote.
I
don't know
suck.
if
Am I
I've never
rage
even heard of
baiting
this.
you?
I mean, I'm just gonna say the only one that
Aragon.
fits the theme. I'm just gonna say Fizz. I don't know if that's correct.
That's good.
Not a bad guess.
That's
not
good. That's
correct.
good. And the chat already got it right, by the way.
What?
Wow.
Disadvantage.
You got it. Don't punk. You got it. Duckling.
Next quote, please.
You want to lock in? Okay.
No, I
It's
don't
not
know.
Fizz. It's not Fizz. Now you're gonna get it. Have a drink. Duckling.
I mean, unless you're baiting me, it has to be Gregors.
It has to be my boy Gragas.
Does he really
That is
say
wrong.
Yeah, it
What?
is wrong. I knew you were baiting me, but I have to go with the obvious answer there.
Haven't
Okay,
we?
the
Is that
rage
really not
bait.
Gragas? Oh my
It's
gosh.
not Gragas. It's not
Who else
Gragas.
gives
Is
out a
it-
drink?
What's the other one? Drink Olaf?
Nope. Let's go for the third clue.
Broloff? Okay.
I decide what the tide will
Oh.
bring.
You're just doing other roles than top lane, man. It's not fair. Go ahead, mate. You had your hand up.
Duckling.
It
Duckling.
has to be Nami, right?
Yeah, it is.
It has to be Nami. It is Nami. Duckling. You got a point as well.
Dude, I haven't played a single
By the
Nami
way,
game in 15
It's
years.
2-1. 2-1. Duckling leading. And by the way, the chat is winning, obviously. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
this is
This is the
horrible.
last one. Aragon, you either tie or you lose versus the guy with no beard. The worth of a man can be measured by the length of his beard. And the guy... I'm so glad I brought this one. The worth of a man can be measured by the length of his beard, Duckling. The length of his beard.
Look,
Do you know what a beard is?
it. You have no idea either, do you, Duckling? I have no clue.
I'm
chat
gonna guess. I'm
got
gonna
it
guess.
correct.
I'm gonna guess Olaf. He has a beard, right? He's one of these more.
I mean, it's one of these Freljord champs, right? Like, for
yeah,
sure.
Duckling.
right.
Do you want to lock in Olaf?
Yeah.
Go ahead, mate.
The
I'll wait
chat
the
got
next
it
clue.
correct. You want the next clue?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't need it. Duckling,
Oh,
you got
Well
a point.
That's
Correct,
3 points.
it's Olaf.
That's 3 points.
Congratulations.
That's 3
You
points getting on the
win.
first
You
hit.
win.
I have.
You win.
You actually just locked in so many champs that I have no clue about. You're such a fraud, Archeron. Can you stop rigging the games? So
He
rigged,
rigged
it's
the
crazy.
game knowing none of us play with audio. Like, that is disgusting. He knows I play with 5% audio.
I
He did
mute
it to embarrass
voices
us.
because they all just yap, man. They all
I
just
love
yap.
you,
No one-
chat. I love you, chat.
All
You're
right.
just amazing. You're just amazing.
fine.
Before we move on, I'm just gonna say this one last time. The worth of a man can be measured
go
by
on,
the
move
length
on,
of his
move on,
beard.
move on.
Also, before we start talking about this is your opportunity to win a light side shirt, okay? Jersey. They're making a celebration of them having a really wonderful split. So head on to Twitter, to light side Twitter, and they're giving away 3 jerseys, okay? Just go in and get a jersey. They're actually really cool. I'm
Hell
trying
yeah.
to get one myself. I'm just saying. Duckling, I don't know if they have like a children's size, but maybe try your luck. As we move on to this one, it's going to be Verdant versus the MG. Best of 5. Did we think this would happen?
No, not a few weeks ago. I thought Verdant would run through the upper bracket when they played Rich Gang. I thought it was going to be a close best of 5. Or best of 3 rather, up in that top side bracket. But with the experience not Venom Crest, but rather Verdant have, with the big name players, how they were performing early in the split, I thought for sure they would have still been able to take down Rich Gang. So to see them here in the lower bracket is a bit of a shock. And also a lot of pressure piled onto an organization that is expecting to make EMEA Masters this split.
Yeah,
That's
I think-
exactly. Yeah, tell me. Tell me, Aragon.
I mean-
before I go.
like a couple weeks ago, I think I said Rich Gank would be the second best team in the league,
did.
which
You
was
did.
really surprising to a lot of people because they beat Nord, but it was Rich Gang. It wasn't Nord or Verdant. And I think just from gameplay, yeah, I think at the moment Verdant's our third place team. That's because Nord is doing pretty poorly, and right now we have like a little divide between what I think is like the top 2 teams and then third and fourth, which is just completely brand new. Since I've been on NLC, it's always been like Nord second, right? So yeah, it's just really, really surprising seeing Verdant down here.
I agree. This is exactly why we brought in like clues to understand how Verdant is working right now. We've talked about the game length and how far they go in terms of games, but we can look at the plays they bring and how they can actually work. So if possible, let's bring in the B-roll and guide me through this. What is happening with this?
I mean, this is your favorite clip, isn't it, Duckling?
Yeah, I mean, I think both of you and I had a bit of a crash out watching this replay back because, I mean, it's more so not what Devin is doing, it's what he's not doing. The champion, Senna,
Viewers,
unable
just
to
watch
deal
the
damage.
autos.
Yeah, I mean, does absolutely nothing.
He's
here.
healing.
And this
Okay.
is a bit away from the point we want to get to. It is just worth mentioning that Senna is one of a scaling champion, right? Which fits into the Verdant identity, this bit of heavy scaling. But you can see it at the time here, right? 28 minutes in, and they are ordering fights, maybe a bit too soon.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, you wanted to move away. I'm going to continue it. I hate Senna. I think there are mosquito champions of the current meta, and Senna is one of them. I think when I think of AD carries that are mosquitoes, it's definitely Senna until she gets like 3 items with an IE. And also Zeri. I think these champs absolutely suck. So you can see Devin just continuously autoing the Scion. And yeah, this is made worse usually, by the way, when people build Black Cleaver and you just have like this static ship rapid fire Black Cleaver. Absolute minus 400 damage per auto champion, delaying IE forever. And usually what happens is it's like soul for the enemy team whilst you're trying your best to team fight and outscale it. So yeah, just massive hatred towards that. And these team fights, they were kind of messy, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were very, very messy, and I think this series in particular, that was a replay we had on last time when they lost in game 3, where it was very much, we fight in the mid lane, then we run to the Archon, we fight again instantly. It was so far away from the Verdant identity they had created for themselves, and you can see it as well, right? 28 minutes in, they put themselves in positions where they have to fight because they are down on this one, they're up 3 Drakes, but like the point is, they have been pushing the game time down from almost 40 minutes in the seeding stage, and I don't know if this is intentional or they're just losing to the chaos, but I mean, it's not the place that we identify them with, and I mean, they haven't had as good results.
I mean, yeah, the game time is way shorter than seeding stage, right? Like, it's just way, way shorter. Clearly, they've tried to accelerate at least a little bit. I think 32 minutes something or other, right? We'll see that. We'll see that later on, but it's still slower than the average game time globally. I'm pretty sure that's still slower. I think it's probably around 31 for globally.
So what I'm getting right now is that Verdant keeps picking compositions that allows them to scale, that allows them to win the late game. That's how they almost won versus LR. But they don't want to wait for it. It's like when someone picks Vayne on solo queue and tries to surrender at 15 minutes, saying it's doomed.
That's the biggest problem right now, because the thing is, when you're drafting for scaling, you should be playing for your scaling, right? You shouldn't be fighting at 20 minutes around the Archon just because you can. And that's the issue, because if you want to up your game time, that's totally fine if you adapt your draft and playstyle to it. But when you're drafting just like you did in the seeding stage, look at this game 5 draft. You've got Ryze and Senna, very high scaling champion, and Ambessa too.
It's slowly scaling,
And you're fighting at an Archon, I believe, around 20 minutes after you just all in the mid lane too. So that draft didn't correlate with the way they played the games, and that was the biggest issue, because they need to change that draft if they want to lower that game time.
I think at the very least in game 2 and 1, you had some skirmish potential with the top side with the Sejuani comp, but just still on average, absolutely. I completely agree with you, Duckling. I think when you play these compositions that you come online, I suppose, at one item on Ambessa, but then you really scale throughout the game, and the same with Ryze and Senna, you always have the opportunity to do stuff like cross maps and just give up soul to cross map a tier 2 top lane and so on. And when you're not taking those opportunities, you're trying to rush the game before Senna hits spike. It's not ideal, but I'm sure, it's been a while since that series, but we'll see if they've improved off of it.
They maybe adapted. And what I wanted to ask you both is, when you look into like Ryze and Senna, two lanes will scale really, really hard into late game. As soon as they click, they click. But if you pick 2 scaling lanes, doesn't this give you the opponent the opportunity to just pile on that?
It's not true scaling for Ryze, right? Because you can set up early ganks with your free route, and then like you can also play side before late game as well. But it is a much slower draft for sure. The Senna's the main part, absolutely.
And they tried to adapt the game time. We talked about it during the seeding stage, and as you bring it up, look at this. 39, that's the average, by the way. They went to 50 plus on a few one. 39-18 to 32, that's a massive difference when you go into playoffs.
Especially for the champions we just said and talked about, right? Needing the extra item on the Senna, for example. All of these things, you get to reach them when you play an average of 40 minutes, but when you only play around 32 minutes, well, you're just missing that power, because I think back to the game 3, when they tried to defend their Nexus, Senna had just gotten IE, and you could instantly feel the spike.
Was
That
different.
meant they
Yeah.
almost won the fight, but the problem is they were at their base already, and what did Red Gang do? They just focused the Nexus and won the game. Like, if that game had just gotten a few longer fights and a few more minutes, I think Verdant could have come back.
Artrum, you're old as hell. Look, listen, you said, like, in solo queue, when a player locks in Vayne and spams FF, bro, no one plays Vayne anymore. What are you talking about? Like,
He's
You
our-
don't remember those moments
you
when...
live in 2015 or something. What is happening?
No,
Nobody
the
plays this
idea
champ, man.
is so many people pick scaling champions
How
and then
is that
complain
your
when they don't
go-to
get...
late game champ? Smolder exists, you know, like it's just astounding.
He's an
that you
unsafe
say
I'm
Vayne.
so sorry. At least my GOL is not red. As we move... Well, we're talking about a team that is the
I
green,
see-
which is
yeah.
Verdant. What do you mean?
No, I just saw a Twitch chat that's like Vayne top. Bro, no one locks in Vayne top. Vayne top is
The chat knows.
words I can't
the chat
say.
knows.
And also, Vayne top is like an early game champ now. Like, you just lock in, you tumble, you bully people. It's not a late game champ. That's just not how she works anymore.
I swear,
Yeah, I'm
chat
calling you
help me
out,
out
Dragon
'cause,
Power. Sorry.
But yeah, when we talk about Verdant, it looks like we're kind of flaming them because we know their mistakes. But at the end, at the root, we know this composition is extremely powerful. We know these players, they've reached like peak in League of Legends competitive.
Yeah.
And in reality, they want to go to Sweden. And this is why we were able to get PG-13 quote coming in from Danskman. Because it's not easy. There you go. Can't wait to see everyone in Sweden. This is a fair one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of tells us the expectations they had of the roster, right? EMEA Masters expected to be the bare minimum. They were looking to go to Sweden as well, and right now, they are quite a ways away from that, needing to win here against Nord and against then either Rich Gang or Lost Tones to secure that spot. So, you know, the ambition is still there, but they need to keep their head down, just play one series at a time, because they are quite a few steps away, but it very much speaks to the demand and expectation on this roster.
Yeah. The only anecdote I have with Dance Man is this split, or maybe was it last split? I can't remember. I had options because you can't cast and coach a team or play on a team in the same league, right? Competitive integrity. So I had the option to maybe try out and become a coach for Verdant here. And I'm just trying to think, you know, if I was the coach for Verdant, I was reached out to, what would I fix with Verdant? And I actually think their issues are so simple, right? Like, you just have so many options just to play for Spike, you know, just reiterate the fundamentals of playing for your spikes and playing for opposite sides of the map and just giving on enemy spikes. And that's really all it was, especially in that center game. So yeah, just if I was like looking from the outside in, that's what I would pretty much focus on, just looking at cross maps and how we accomplish those for them.
Yeah, and I think the big thing on that as well is why we are sitting here sounding so negative is because you look at the individuals, right? LEC
so good.
experience. I went digging and found some of the old merch I got when I was at the LEC in 2018, and it has Norscarin or now Torre's signature on it as well. Like, these guys have played in the studio. They've been
how much is
around.
that worth?
They've had someone like me as fanboys. It also has Kasing, by the way. This was with all the supports and
God.
really saying.
Wow.
I have one with Odo as well, a little minion. I
sell
found
them.
these digging
Make a
through.
big buck.
No. But the point is, these are players who have sat there constantly playing at the LEC studios, had all these eyes on them. Torre has made it to Worlds quarterfinals against SKT. If they lose here with the expectations on them to DMG, it would be a massive, massive disaster.
I see your point. I truly believe the same. But when we put face to face, the MG, as you stated, Aragon, are the top of the other four. I like that idea of it split in, and at the bottom of the teams, DMG are just controlling right now. We had our doubts, but here they stand. Tell me.
There's a line. Yeah, there's a line after the top four, and it's not just a line, it's a trench, okay? The line is not a line, it's 3D, and it's just a black hole of, can you accomplish and cross over this? Can you bridge across this black hole in terms of skill gap? Because the reality is the top four in our league are phenomenal, and they're contesting Lost Returners, who won EMEA Masters twice. Then you look down in bottom six, and they're just getting 3-0'd off cooldown. And the reality is DMG is the best we got. So if we are going to see DMG, or any team for that matter, contest the top four and maybe cross that trench, that ravine that they have to cross to be able to beat the top four, it's going to be DMG off of the back of players like Chance, off of the back of their bowling, off of the back of everyone on that team working together. That's the only way.
So, how they play? We showed Verdant, might as well look into the way DMG also plays. Because I think the bot lane is upgrading. We gave so much
Yeah.
attention towards Chance to win, towards Phantom Misto with Lulas, but FaZe and Calmsky, they're changing.
It has taken them some time to settle it, right? Their history isn't exactly one of success in the NLC, but I thought this series in particular, they both really stepped up. I want to highlight FaZe in this highlight. Coming on a flank on Jinx can be difficult, right? You might overstep and get caught out, but plays very nicely on the edge of the Nautilus range, and then once the fight is fully blown out, he steps in, ensures himself a triple kill. This was the first of 3 games they took in a row against Venom Crest. Venom Crest obviously looked a bit disjointed, but DMG for once able to punish a team's mistakes, and FaZe, I think the leading factor of that, his confidence felt really high, as you can see, knowing when he can dash in and knowing when he can step up. His positioning has certainly improved this split.
I completely agree. I look at, I find it so look, sorry. I know we really wanted to shill Fatesky and Karmska, but I find it so disingenuous to not talk about Chance. Even though we gas up Chance every single damn day of this broadcast.
He deserves it.
The guy is just so good that I can't help but just look at this roster and say, yeah, chance to win is pretty damn good. Hey, look at this clip though. This clip is really poggers. I mean, he gets the Q2, the Q3, and then the knock-up, and then he chains it again with another knock-up right here. This engage is crazy. So just the whole top side with Lulis as well, I just think is worth shouting out to.
He was just being deleted. Look at this. 0-5 on the volleybird. He was camped.
Yeah.
He was removed from the game, and somehow
his volley
so damn useful.
His volley KDAs are so awful every time. I'm not gonna lie, but then he
They are
carries.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
They are a treat to watch. I think for DMG, winning that game when Chance got put out of it is a big sign to the rest of the team stepping up as well. Lulas was massive in the fight. The fact that they were on the same page, the initial engage, the flash in from Phantomisto to follow up with the chain CC, these were the things that were missing from DMG in the seeding stage. So when I saw a fight like this, I thought, okay, maybe they can take a game off someone like Verdant. Even if I think they are the big favorites, well, these are the things, the team coordination that needs to be on point if they're going to win anything today.
Well, we talked about the bot lane, and since we're always talking about Chance, might as well look into the bot. I think at this moment, Calmsky has not had the best, If you look into the placements in the NLC,
can I step in here real quick? Yeah, I really want to step in here really quick and just say that we're not doing this to shit on Calmsky. That is not what we want to do. We're saying that this is probably one of his best splits ever, and we're wondering, how well can he place now? Can he break into the top 4 for once? His history is not great. It's just how it is on the wiki. And for once, I think he has the opportunity on this roster to break through and actually top 4 in the league. I truly believe this is the best opportunity he's going to have.
And if I may, Duckling, the idea of him getting top 4 on a split where you have Verdant with XLEC, an amazing team, you look into LR, you look into Nord's roster as well. This split being the split that he breaks through, I think that's a shining light.
Yeah,
and then we look into the one he's playing with, but continue, Duckling.
Yeah. I think Combs, right? Not a history of success in the NLC at the very least. Obviously, started off playing with Verdant where he got that first 7 place finish. So he's already made history for himself, finishing top 5, but crossing that Mariana Trench really between the top 4 and the others really. If he makes that step over against his former org, I mean, what a way to do it, right? And it would be very big.
So let's talk about the AD carry. They've been playing together for a long time. So Fatesky, it's his moment. He had a wonderful interview, but this was versus Venom Crest. When you see these numbers, that's plus 900 gold as well. CS per minutes 10 as an AD carry. Man, smurfing.
24 and 4. It's just ridiculous. Coincidentally, 24 kills is also the number of solo kills Chance has. I just noticed the numbers are the same. But this KDA is just ridiculous. 48 to 4, It's really, really insane. And on top of that, insane CS per minute, damage per minute is crazy, and the gold difference winning lane consistently, you can see is on another level compared to Venom Crest.
You know what? Let's put both bot lanes face to face. Since we're talking about DMG, might as well bring Verdant into the equation as well, because I also think that's a lane you can attack. On one side, Torre, I think, is the GOAT. Will Devon actually step up to fight versus Fatesky? I think this is a combo. I love this graphic. Keep it on for a little bit before we jump into Champion Select so we can digest this. What do we see from this? Is this the lane to watch during the series?
I think top lane will be up there as well, just because Chance is so entertaining. But let's focus now on that top lane, because that is the other lane that I'm really looking at here. Devin, someone I had high expectations coming into, right? You're one of the less experienced players picked for what such a roster filled with experience. I knew they were backing him to do really great things, and he hasn't shown me that yet, really. I want him to take the step up, and, well, this might be his final chance where he's, been besides a support who's really, I would say, allowed him to step up. Torre's been phenomenal this split, one of the best supports in the whole league, so I think if Devin steps up, this bot lane is a scary one, but right now, maybe just the sum is bigger than the sum, or the count is bigger than the sum of the individual part. DMG could
here
do
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
DMG taking down Verdant. That would be a big one. Tell me, Aragon, as we jump into Champions
Just
Select.
with stats like those, just remember, guys, that they're not easy to directly compare because, Verdant were against Rich Gank and DMG were against Venom Crest, so like comparing those stats isn't that...
as well, so.
Yeah, so they can be a bit inflated, and we're not trying to say that the stats are better for either team, but it's just interesting to look at going forward.
You know what? I'm going to say it. Before we start seeing champions, I think the line they should be the most concerned, Verdant, is a top lane. SLT is going through a downfall, in my opinion. I think he's good, but he can do a lot more better than he's doing right now. And Chance, if left alone, 24 solo kills as a
And when it comes to top lane,
And
the Cassante is open. Are they going to B1 it for SLT to get rid of it? That's a strategy teams have done in the past. Are you going to take it away? So for Fearless Draft, will it be gone?
one thing that really stands out to me is the fact that they've banned away the Yorick. The one champ Chance has had a horrible stinker on, and we've never seen again, except for, and they haven't taken away any of the big ones, obviously the Cassante. All of a sudden you're looking at that saying, maybe you pick that away, but then again, we know he has so many other champions, so Gwen is a choice. He could just pick the Gragas into it. He had a pretty good day against it last time around with Venom Crest, but we'll see.
NLC players seem to like Gragas. I quite like Aurora as an answer into Gwen. I think it's really, really good. You could flex it from mid to top as well, or just send it top into the Aurora and have a great time. Rumble's down, so that's not going to be an answer. You could do Ambessa with a dive onto Wukong too. Both of these champions, I think, would be the best top lane answers for Chance right here. Have we seen the Aurora for Chance?
No, not in this.
Maybe not. It would be a really, really good pick, but he's probably more inclined to do something like Ambessa.
Keeping my mind open, just quick as well, mentioning it, just because we saw it against DMG last week, it was Venom Crest playing the Gwen jungle. Not expecting it here, as SLT, someone who does play the Gwen, but I'll keep my mind open for what would be banned here as well, as it could be some trickery there.
I think Gragas Wukong was the rotation they did, right? Like that is the rotation that they did do in the last series, so you're completely right, Duckling. That's going to go... I don't even like the matchup, to be honest, for the Gragas, but he showed... He proved me wrong last time. Yeah, I just think you're just another big blob to snip. And that's the big problem right there. But looking at what they're crafting right now for the side of DMG, they're crafting more of a dive composition with lots of layering to be able to punish your mobile carries, and that's something I really, really like right here. Lots of OP junglers up, by the way. I'm looking at the Trundle. Talia's open. Like, lots of really, really OP champions that haven't been banned away. Also, Yunara's up. What's up with that,
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have much priority either in the last series to get Venom Crest. In particular, the Trundle going through multiple drafts. DMG were last on the Rift, so maybe just a tendency that Ludus doesn't play it. I think he'd be the type of player to do that, as they probably that. The value so far so good. 2 champions, 2 dashes.
Yeah, but
that's
you could have brought a Shin Zhao, a Trundle, so many good ideas.
No. I think Verdant are cooking. I think Verdant are completely cooking. I think this is incredibly hard for Wukong to play now. So the whole game plan behind Verdant is to make Wukong's life miserable. It's very, very hard to dive and dash on Cyclone through Talia Rocks, through Poppy W. It makes... Drafting against Wukong is a really viable strategy, so I really like what Verdant have done. The Poppy Talia is a fantastic go-to duo, and there's the Aurora. So dive composition versus anti-dive for Verdant. I think Verdant are coming away with this 1-2-3 slightly ahead.
Okay. Second round of the bans now looking to the bot side. So far, no support or AD carry being pinched, only Jhin. So that's going to be from afar. So they want to play a little bit more close, I think. With that team, obviously, you want to force DMG to get close to you. Yunara, I don't think this is the place to play Yunara as well. I think you let it out. Versus Verdant, I don't think you want to pull it out.
I really like the Yunara for Verdant, by the way. Like, I think if they draft it, they've got great front-to-back laning. It's going to be really hard to get onto the Yunara because of the Poppy Talia appeal. I think it's a great Yunara game. I'd love to see DMG deny or ban that away. I think that's probably the best answer. But are we just going to see it go through draft? It's so bizarre to me. I know you're a hater, Duckling.
You're saying hates her as if I'm saying she's the worst champ ever. That's not my stance on her, by the way.
You kinda
Although I'm not
say
the
it.
biggest fan of her. Let me make that clear. I do like the Alistar Baron, though. Maybe not the best here, but again, Tori has been phenomenal on it. We had some quotes you might have wanted to show where people were glazing him on Reddit for his performance on that Alistar. Yunara must get banned. I mean, maybe something like the Aphelios could be the thing. Maybe that's just me because I know Fadeski's very good on it, but no, please. What? Fadeski, man.
We
Is
did
that what
the
you wanna do to
segment
yourself?
on this.
Yeah, I think into this champ, you can usually, some people like Smolder. Some people like to just take Smolder into Senna and play off the windows that Smolder has over Senna. But you also, Sivia's not so great. You kind of just get free stacked on. But is that the Aphelios denial as well?
No, please. Don't do it. I wanted to see him. I asked it in the interview as well, just 2 days
He
ago.
said he was gonna pick it.
He told me, he told me to message him
The
so I could get his
scaling
PayPal.
on Verdant
You're
is
never getting-
ridiculous. But,
I wanted to sink in for you right now that you're not going to see Fadeski Aphelios until 2026 at the earliest.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
You're a
Unless
prick, mate. That's
DMG
horrible.
win this
Spoiled.
series. Unless DMG win this series. You're welcome.
So what's the
DMG
support
better
to
win
pair
now.
with this? What do you do? Do you bring a Rel or something that can just force these fights?
Huh?
Ah, man.
Poppy support.
My
Poppy
man.
support.
And then he plays
My
the
man.
Pantheon jungle, yeah. Ashrum's
Yeah,
obviously happy with that, right?
I-
His glazing of that champion through the roof.
Yeah.
Yes. You now have to pick your support.
I think
Is
it's
that
really
the
overcooking, I'm
best-
not going to lie.
Is that the
I
best
think-
choice you had?
I think Brom's really good into Poppy. Like, you dash into Brom and you just get stacked on. And then also it works really well with Senna in general, even
Unless-
with auto slow.
Unless
Punish?
you bring the Pantheon as a support.
Nah, there's no shot. You can't send Panda into Brom. I think they've
thought it was like
overcooked
cooking,
here
yeah.
with a Poppy blind whilst Brom's available when they could have just locked a normal support and kept Poppy jungle, which is a strong pick itself.
So question.
I'm not a fan
at
of the
the end,
4-5.
was that overcooked? At the end was like
Yes.
too much salt. Is that
There
it?
was too much salt. It was for sure
There
too
was
much salt right here.
Okay, who do you think is going to win? Aragon, Duckling, giving you a few seconds. As I say to the chat, the prediction is open. So tell me who's going to win. Chat,
I'll let Duckling
vote
go first.
DMG or Verdant. It's up to you, chat, on the chat to do it. And then we'll see where you land. Duckling, no beer, tell me.
I'll say Verdant. They've basically done peak comfort on all their big players, which is one of the biggest things for me.
Okay, Aragon.
I'm going to say Verdant as well. I've somehow just blanked on the draft, but I think their draft is giga goods. The only question mark I have is the Brom early into the Poppy, which can be a bit spooky, but Senna's such a weak AD carry, it doesn't even matter. So let's go Verdant, all in.
Well, looks like the desk is leaning towards Verdant. Game 1 on the best of 5. Whoever loses is out. You hear the music, so you need to hear the casters. It's Shimada and Hipbraid. That's a dangerous duo. Behave.
No promises, Archer. Absolutely no promises on that one. Hello, and welcome to the caster desk, getting ready to go into this first game of Verdant versus DMG. Desk very Verdant favored right now. I'm curious, Archer. Maybe it's time for you to let the people at home know how you feel about this game and what you think of this draft.
Yeah, first off, I'm not Archer.
Oh, is it not?
So,
Okay.
oh,
There we go. It's fixed.
is it fixed? Allegedly, it's fixed. My mic was never muted on my end, so I'm just gonna say,
We were
I'm not
both
getting rid of the
muted.
bus. We were both muted.
Okay.
Okay.
It wasn't us.
Now it makes sense. Well, look, yeah, I'm definitely on the side of the AD a little bit. I think there was a bit of overcooking with that Poppy getting flexed down to support. They had it in a good matchup, right? And I think there are plenty of very blindable supports that they could have gone for instead of now dealing with this Braum matchup in the bot lane. It does make things maybe a little bit awkward. Diving is still going to be relatively easy if they look to make early plays down on that bottom side. We're here on Summoner's Rift for game number 1 of what is an elimination series, Jake. One of these teams is going home at the end of the day.
Yeah, we saw earlier this week DMG were able to take down Venom Crest and keep their dreams alive a little longer. But the question is are they going to make it to next week or not? And are they going to make top 4? All to play for right now for the side of Verdant. And yeah, I think, you know, I have my concerns on the side of Verdant because, I mean, the big thing for me is I'm looking at Engage. You have, like, the reliable point-and-click Engage of the Pantheon. And then it's, like, maybe a Talia pick through the knockback. They haven't got that kind of, like, big, reliable Engage where, I mean, DMG, if you engage into them with that one tool you have the Braum ultimate to layer on there, you have the Monkey to spin, you have the Gragas. I do like that the desk talks a lot about how Verdant have tools to shut down that Wukong, but I do feel like DMG have reliable tools to kind of keep people alive if that single person engage comes in.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big issue that Verdant have, is whilst, you know, to a point, DMG's composition is really good at diving, it's also really good at, like, peeling back and stepping back as well, especially now that the Brom's in the mix. So I think Verdant are going to really have to pick and choose their chances very, very precisely. Junglers both starting on the top side of the map, so as we was kind of alluding to, Danka, to no one's surprise, pathing down to the bottom side to likely give this Poppy support as much pressure as it can afford to be given. Does mean the top side is going to be left alone, which I think is going to be to the benefit of Verdant, because as Aragon was talking about, that Gwen into Gragas matchup, I don't like it either. It's just one of those matchups where, to me, Gwen gets the scale for free. Yes, Gragas can sustain through a lot of the damage and over time nullify this lane, but then you're just giving a Gwen a free time to scale up. So we'll see exactly how SLT pilots it and how Chance potentially looks to find chances elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, that's, I think, Chance, what I like about him isn't just like his laning. I think he's really, really solid. When he gets those team fights, he's just a reliable kind of like brick wall for the team. And, I think it speaks a lot about how just before we got to Champ Select, we had the devs talking about bot lane and bringing graphics up, but every time they use it as a chance to kind of glaze Chance, just because he has been that effective and that kind of important to the side of DMG. Now, like you said, both junglers are pathing downwards, so we could see some early action down here. Lulish on the Wukong, though, obviously really wants to wait till 6 before he can do anything, so I think DMG are going to have to play a little bit more passively, aware that there is a jungler who can come in on them, but they're feeling with the level advantage that they can get a little summon off here. Torre's going to get caught. They're going to look to stack up the stun onto him. Don't full send it as Chance jumps in onto SLT. SLT's W blocks it! Nice flash out from Chance. Heals up with the W. That was close.
Very, very close, and Chance is going to have to reset almost no doubt. Lulish is the first one here onto this Skull Crab, and he's going to get it. He's going to point towards the mid lane priority as maybe a very big indicator of who's going to get this bottom side Skull, but it will be the DMG jungler. See what he does. I mean, he can kind of just take a reset now at this point. Doesn't need to put the ward down. He's already put one down in the river. Dank will take the top side Skull, and we'll just see that classic handshake for the time being. But a big advantage, I'd say, honestly, for Verdant, because I think on this top side now, no, the wave is going to be neutral, but even then, I just feel like Gragas is so much easier to dive, right? And kill when you look at the way that the natural trades are likely going to end up, who's going to end up with priority here. Again, we'll see how SLT navigates, but that is just such a big potential opportunity for Snowball up there on the top side.
I'm interested to see where the first gank comes in from these junglers. Obviously, Lulish still playing for that Cyclone, but Danka, he has flash. He can just walk into a lane and press that stun. It's point and click. He can't miss it.
Yeah, he's skipping camps. He wants to come up here, I think. Oh, never mind. He's went and maybe put a ward down, hit a plant. I'm not sure. But he thought about it. That's for sure.
You can see he's itching.
Will be very volatile.
He's absolutely itching to jump in. As Tori hits 6, interrupt actually comes out. They do find the route from Devon, but not really going to be too much more out of the side of DMG. They do have sustain through the center queue though, so it's.
Oh, look at Lulish.
Where is he?
Here.
There he is.
He's hovering, and you can see Chance is also freezing this wave, so this is really awkward. If SLT shows one more time, Lulish can just kind of walk out. He is missing camps, and they actually have information on that Raptor camp. They're pinging it. They're like, where is he? They're missing pinging it. Oh! Stun.
Nice one. I thought they were going to go for that. I really did, but I guess the mana's too low on the Devon, so.
It's also just a bit too risky. They don't have the damage by themselves, but what this should turn into is Dragon. Senkox has priority here. Phantomisto needs a base. I mean, Danka could also just walk past the Dragon and look to dive bot, but I think the easier play is just to take the objective, or he even gets Gromp. Steals that away from Lulish because he knows he's a camp or two behind in tempo. He's just barely going to miss Faceski and Kalmski. So, we'll just take a Gromp as a prize here. No Mountain Dragon. You can see the mounting pressure of this 2v2, and this is why sometimes having Poppy in that bot lane can work, right? If you can find a good wall stun, and there's very little, response from the DMG side, then yeah, the trades are going to look great, and the pressure is going to mount. But again, it's about those later on moments in the game where the Braum really starts to scale in, and those concussive blows really start to make a massive impact. Yeah,
and Senna stacks those real quick as well, because the Q also puts a proc on, so you can auto Q. That's 3 stacks of the concussive blow if you get that off. Lulish losing that Gromp, obviously slowing down his ability to hit 6. is just going to start up the Dragon here, although Verdant, they're feeling comfortable to be able to step up.
I think,
Cool.
is Danko going to be 6 off those Krugs? No, he's just barely off it. He could have maybe immediately just asked for a play to start happening. But they do get them off the Dragon. That's the important part. And they can just return back to wherever they want to go now.
Yeah, I think the big issue is the fact that Lulish just doesn't have that 6. So DMG, anytime Verdant show up, Lulish just decides he doesn't want to go for it.
Oh,
He's
Danko
going for
got
a
it off
double
the
smite
minion wave.
angle there. Oh, they throw down the Grand
on bot.
Starfall into the bot side, and Fatesky
Fatesky's
gone under for the moment. He's going to get a bit of damage onto Devon, but he is going to flash away. In comes Toro, though, to try and find the save. Going to be a kill secured over to Danko already. Nice knockback, but it's onto a clone. One dead on the side of DMG. Verdant, they'll be happy with that.
Really great play from Danko. He just goes and soaks the minion wave XP instead, right? He was just barely shy off that Krug camp on the bottom side. Gets it, immediately casts his ultimate down onto the bottom side. Fatesky just trying to push and get this wave under. Secured DMG an extra area of priority, but this Gromp steal, right? All of that time Lulish spent on the top side, this is the repercussion. Play comes in and it's super easy. Numbers are just here first with Talia ultimate as well. And Temisto can't offer anything to this team fight.
Yeah, it's a rough one. As the center, you want to be at the back. You want to be the one kind of poking away and not be that frontline person just getting picked off. Fatesky now hitting level 6, does have the Dawning Shadow available. So can assist with fights and stuff across the map. Oh, man. I still get caught off guard by Aurora Burst. Like, with Electrocute and the passive proc, it's so insane how much damage you can do.
Yeah, it really is. Quite the obnoxious champion. It wasn't until the other day, and maybe I'm self-reporting a little bit, I didn't know that the Q pullback also did missing HP. I thought it was just all base damage. But it does make those trades, especially when, Tomsky
I think he might be in
knockback
danger.
from the Dragon.
He's dead.
Yeah. That's honestly a little unlucky, but also at the same time, look at the minimap. Who's near him?
Yeah, what are you doing
no
there,
one
buddy?
on his team was around. Do feel, again, a little bit bad, but in isolation, gets caught out, and all 3 grubs went over to Verdant on the top side, pushing for Fatesky. That's a lot of damage, actually.
Poppy base damage is kind of bonkers, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. Chance? Right now, I think he's in a position on the Gragas where this lane hasn't like gone
He wants to slow
awful.
chase down.
Let's look for it.
SLT's
Actually has
gonna
the
have to
ultimate.
flash.
W's been used. There's the flash. There's the barrel. There's the bomber.
Oh!
Chance to win. This is why we've been bigging him up.
Oh man, SLT, he just had to respect the E flash, and he doesn't end up doing it. Well played to Chance for just recognizing that once he hits that first combo, SLT's in lethal. Plain and simple. Very great execution. DMG, his numbers advantage on the map. They secure themselves this Dragon with limited contest. Verdant are in
say
now,
that.
but the Dragon should be gone.
Lulish going to secure that one. Actually, it's going to be Comsky with the Q. Dora gets down for a brief second. They find the knockback, but the monkey spin's done a lot. Devon's coming in on the flank, and that's going to be the end of Tor. Fatesky secures the kill, and there is DMG, Feat of Warfare, and the Dragon.
It's strange from Verdant because they know they're not going to get the objective. Obviously, they feel like they're maybe stronger on this fight, but I think the multiple angles is just not really how they want to play it. And you'll see on the bottom side of your screen, the Affiliate Assault swings wide. The Dragon gets secured by Karmsky. They get the stun onto Tor, and it's pretty much unable to move. The Affiliate Assault, again, everything kind of whiffs, and too big a commit for my opinion, as Karmsky TP's in. He's on SLT.
Was being used. Chance got a lot of damage to put out here. SLT W times out, so he hasn't got all those extra resistances. Knocked back here. Lovely use of the spellbook there from Karmsky, to be honest. Meanwhile, Lulish is making sure Fatesky isn't going to get cross-mapped. Really heads-up play from DMG.
Yeah, this is just respecting the map and really reading it and going, hey, like, no one's probably going to be here on the top side to match. Dunker took Grubs, then came and contested Dragon. His camp should only be on the bottom side. Pantheon shouldn't answer this top side play. So Karmsky's looking top is great, and then, like you said, Lulish just covers in case there's a bit of an overload going on the bottom side and no dive comes through. So, really good stuff from DMG so far. And I mean, it's not amounted to a massive gold lead by any means. They're also equal in objectives, but just see DMG go head-to-head, macro side. Very impressive. Verdant been one of our defined top 4 teams, as speaking of a bot side play.
And Starfall comes out. Danker's underneath the tower. He's going to get locked down by the concussive blows. Dawning Shadow goes a little bit wide, but Phantomisto is making his way over. Danker caught out and on his own now as Fateski will be gifted the kill. That center is starting to get a little bit scary. 2-1. Remember, center wants to scale. So this is great for Fateski, getting a little bit of an accelerated start.
It is, and Casey's also got BF Sword in his inventory. Unless I'm missing something. I'd imagine that's going to be Yuntao. And that's a lot of extra gold going towards that build too. So we'll see exactly just how much damage Senna's going to be able to get out here, Fateski. There's the Scout Slingshot, which should all but confirm it.
Yeah, very close to the Untiles now. That longsword also in the inventory. Cole's halfway done as well, so Fateski starting off strong here. And a nice opener to this game. Phantomisto also building towards that Malignance. Got the Blasting Wand, got the Lost Chapter. Not quite in the pocket yet. We got 2 minutes until Rift Herald, 2 minutes until Dragon. So I do feel like this is probably the point where a lot of these teams, or well, a lot of these players are going to want to just finish up those first items and be in a place to actually play contest if they decide to contest on those objectives.
Yeah, exactly. And now that DMG, obviously, everyone's level 6, they've been level 6 for a little while. They're going to feel very happy and confident skirmishing around these objectives once those first items come in. DMG trying to fish very aggressively, and they're going to be knocked back. I hate Keeper's Verdict. Good disengage from Tori. And now Danker's going to fish on this top side of the map for some camps, as they did see Lulush on some vision somewhere along the way because they've been pinging him for a little while.
That was really nice, actually. Oh, hold on, Lulush. Jumping to see if he can find Senkux. Phantomisto just flashes forwards, doesn't find the damage. There's the pullback on the Q. And the kill. Lovely pick up there for DMG.
Great pick. Not much to say there. Port Senkux trying to look towards this bottom side. Chance.
Doesn't go well for you, buddy.
Get phase rush.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, that was too greedy. Way too greedy.
Haven't seen Danker for a little while. Lulush just catches Senkux in rotation, right? One of those things where, as a mid laner, you'll do this a lot. You'll go into fog and just try and create a little bit of pressure. Lulush finds him with his pants down in the jungle. And Danker's play up here, not much really to report. Chance trying to defend his vision. Very easy pickup. It does cost Danker his flash to lock that kill in though. And with these objectives spawning up, we'll see how much that maybe does or doesn't matter. Just because, again, the engage from Verdant is very limited. And it's very flash reliant, as hello. Want to play Phantomisto.
We get a fair amount of damage off on the Senkux there, and that should be enough for Lulush to jump forwards, but the Archangel Shield is going to do a fair amount of work. Lulush holding it until the last possible moment to secure the kill. As Phantomisto now playing escape with the W. Lulush is low. Snip, he goes down. Chance is coming forwards. There's Calm Skies also here. They find the belly bop. They find the lockdown. Concussive blows, not quite close enough to catch either of them. That was a messy fight as Fateski comes in to tidy it up. Danker locked in place by the concussive blows, and Fateski just gifted yet another kill.
Another third kill of the game for the center on the bottom side of the map. The tower was taken by Devon, by Tori, so gold is being traded at least a little bit for them. It's important to note, Lulush went back to base, so there's no Herald pickup. Looks like they want to go and contest the Dragon. They want to stack that up. It all starts with this check between Phantomisto and Senkux. It's this control ward again. The center of another bloodbath. Senkux doesn't quite die because the Archangel Shield means that Lulush has to commit forward. SLT then comes on to another angle. Chance disengages. That's fantastic. Lulush, beg your pardon, doesn't go back to base. He dies before he walked out. Poor memory on my part. But yeah, SLT has to disengage once Kalmski's here. And then Danker gets caught out from this rotation from Fateski from the mid lane. Very, very easy. And does make a half a meal of it with the Sundered Sky healing. But he's never going to be able to walk out of that. And again, more gold goes into that center's back pocket. Gold is going into someone's back pocket here.
Oh, good flash. Exhaust comes out, interrupts on the belly bop, does get knocked back. Clears the wave at least. That tower, I don't think SLT's got the damage to kill it. They're just going to have to reset off that one. Dragon went in the favor of DMG. They're now just rotating towards that that Rift Herald. Although, actually, I say that. it's actually going to be Danko rotating towards that, so looks like they may just give that one over.
Yeah, whilst we was in the replay, Dragon was taken by DMG, so they've got the first 2 of the game. Herald, like you say, it's going to be secured by Verdant. There's no immediate look in here from DMG, so happy to trade these objectives yet again. I think this is a really good point to just kind of zoom out, look at the game state, just kind of assess, because everyone's on first item. And I think for Verdant, they're okay with this game state a little bit more, just because they've got the Aphelios and the Gwen, I think is going to be the big game changer. But then, of course, the opposite side, Senna's in the game, right? So we've seen what Senna can do when she's really aggressively stacked up. She's got 48 stacks right now at 17 minutes. It's not bad. It's definitely a little bit ahead of pace from what we've come to know as Chance.
He's in danger. Bellybop comes off, tries to get the phase, sends one pack in. Senka just gets too many rotations through. Chance goes down for the 3rd time this game. Had a good start, but slowly starting to crumble. Meanwhile, SLT is actually running Phantomisto down in the jungle. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
That pick's a big deal. They've got Herald. They're probably going to end up getting this top tier 2. Thank you, observers, for the pit. You can see Tori just shadowing to make sure that no one can really cover it. I mean, based on where everyone is, they might even have a second charge happen. The MG are now starting to respond and walk over. Verdant will give it up. They're just happy with that 700 gold. I think it was split between Senkux and Danka. So very happy with that exchange. Gold swing up and finally in favor for the mid-jungle of Verdant.
You can see already SLT's damage is just a little bit bonkers. He's only got the 1 item in. Devin? Oh my word. Okay, speaking of bonkers damage, Senna does get to a point where she does hit real hard. Gwen's an interesting, like, mini counter. I say mini counter. Counter to Senna, because obviously the W means that Senna can't actually hurt her while outside. So all that extra range that Senna builds up is somewhat redundant for a little while, at least while the W's running.
There's a lot of potential for that Gwen Shroud to be very, very frustrating. But again, it's on SLT and how he pilots it. He's got almost a level lead on Chance, so I think side laning is going to be very, very potent for Verdant the longer the game goes on. The issue, though, it's like the Fiora problem. Whenever a Fiora's in the game, you know, you want your team to try and secure at least 1 dragon to give you time to split push on a side lane. Verdant haven't been able to do that. See, their Fiora is Gwen in this case. So they're going to be pulled towards this dragon almost certainly in a little over 90 seconds time. SLT shouldn't be in any danger here. He will take a reset. He's got to be really close to that Nash's Tooth as well, because look at Danka's inventory. He's got Black Cleaver locked in. Also, SLT did pick up Merc Treads, kind of expensive, but there you go. Nash's Tooth, so he's 2 items. Opposite side, second item starting to come in as well. Infinity Edge for Fateski. Really aggressive build, man. Yuntao into IE. He doesn't want to be, you know, the pew-pew center that they were talking about on the desk. He wants to hit like a truck. I mean, with very limited armor on the opposite side, I think on this spike he's gonna. 50 stacks as well. I think he's almost 100 crit shots, right? I think that I'm pretty sure that's how the center stacks.
If observers
stack up
could
right now, he's probably 80 or 90.
Pan over just to Fateski.
They'd have to click and press C, but
right.
engage to prevent that.
Fateski flashes away. They're going to throw down the Poppy Hammer. Don't think it's actually going to find anyone. It's a nice attempt, but they do find the knockback off the Chance. Chance is low, but in comes Chance Guy to try and play block. He does a good job of that. DMG still holding their life. That chunk onto Fateski's kind of got him a little bit scared. It's just going to back off for the moment for DMG. Atakan up on the map. This is the boots upgrade for whoever gets this Atakan or this dragon that spawns in 20 seconds. It's a big one.
Yeah, a lot of ult economy expended there for Verdant. You have to remember, though, of course, Torre not going to get knocked back by the cast. As Verdant secure priority around this mid lane. That the mid jungle of Verdant, it's about the repositioning of their almost, right? There's not really a whole bunch of combat power. On the opposite side, Phantomist, though, Fateski, Chance obviously just used the cast there. Those are the 2 ultimates still available. If Dive comes through or re-engage comes in for DMG, those ults could be huge. SLT needs to try and find his way onto the back line. You can see he's trying to fish for an angle. Lulush, however, has spotted this out. And DMG in general are just getting pushed out, so this dragon will go over to Verdant. No more stacking. And this is a huge deal, a big sigh of release for Verdant. Now means they get to play the map a little bit wider if they want to. Kamsky not going to get knocked back.
We're still looking for a potential. There's our screen quickly freezes right before the action breaks out. We're back in. Tor This is a fair chunk of HP. Does get caught by the root. Fateski has been left on his own, so throws down the invisibility just to break away, and that's going to be enough to take out Chance. SLT comes through. Tor just about survives thanks to the shield. Fateski not able to secure the kill onto him. Meanwhile, SLT and Danker looking for the fight. Fateski's just playing right on the edge here for the moment. That W has been a menace, though, for Fateski, as Lula's taken so much from the needlework. Is SLT just going to full-on dive here? They just commit for a fight on the other side. This is such a sloppy fight on multiple fronts. Fateski now completely isolated. No flash available. Has the barrier. It's going to be able to finish up onto Devon. Lulish comes in with the monkey spin. And the damage from Fateski is almost there. SLT is able to secure the kill in response. Lulish gets hit by the buckler. Gets some move speed from the Scryer's Bloom. And makes an escape that could be Atakan over to Verdant.
It's a chaotic fight on multiple fronts, and I mean, there's no objective. This is just blood for the blood god. Chance. I mean, I'm not really sure what to say about that one, to be frank. Tori survives because of the buckler shield. But then Lulash here on the side, who out by Danker and SLT, who are still just hanging around in the river. Not really sure as to what. Maybe just covering, thinking Lulash would maybe look for an angle. They cut down the Braum very, very easily. A teleport comes in from Senkox. His ultimate comes back up, so he looks to find his way onto Fateski. The problem is they don't actually have the damage. I mean, it's kind of Devon's guns as well. Bit of a big deal. But this Yuntao IE build just means that he one-shots the Aphelios with like 2 autos.
He actually cancelled an auto attack there as well.
Oh. Yeah, that's the scarier part.
He's doing a lot of work. Now building towards that last Whisper. I mean, I think the 4th item's rapid fire, and at that point, he's actually just going to chunk people from off screen, man. Look at Devon's health bar! He might just find the solo kill! Ult gets traded out, but they just auto-attack each other to death.
It's an old spaghetti western, man. Belding's 12. Bang, bang, they both fall to the floor. Excellent stuff. I mean, the funny ramification of this play is that nothing's going to happen because of it. No one even had summoner spells to burn. And it was only Kalmsky, the moderator of the 1v1, to witness it all go down.
You're right,
foul
though.
play?
This game is just blood for the blood god. It really is. Phantom Misto is getting jumped onto. He's going to go invisible, so he's able to break away. But the tower will fall regardless. I'm just wondering if Atakan's going to be on the card to any of these teams, or if they just want to fight more instead.
And for the time being, the answer is jungle camps from Verdant, and pressure is starting to mount a bit from our perceived top 4 team. Anchor is fighting with the patience mechanic on that red buff. Senkox in a little bit of trouble. He's got the numbers though, and Chance doesn't. Let's see how quickly DMG respond on the opposite side of the map, because Chance is dead and Aphelios has actually been called out. So this is probably going to be Atacon. There's no ultimate available from Verdant in the sense of their jungler. And they've got 2 smites. SLT's here to effectively window shot. Barring some shenanigans, this should be DMG's Atacon to take. I mean, it's just it's weird, Jake, because they kind of have to commit to save Senkox, but at the same time, that commitment is going to cost them a very, very powerful objective inside of Atacon.
It's a bit like the volley game we saw from him 2 days ago, where like his KDA wasn't great, but he was still kind of making stuff happen. It's what we saw there top lane was a borderline Baus play, but like slightly wrong, where like you attack Baus and then Ostrotonus takes something else on the map somewhere else. This time Chance starts it and pulls the attention towards him, which then opens the window for DMG to secure themselves that Atakan. Once again, we have a little pause, so hopefully we're going to be coming back into the game fairly soon.
Yeah,
it's a close one, though.
Whenever the screen freezes like that, I know traditionally we'd have like the weird. It's not even like grayscale.
Yeah, it goes off hue.
It's like orange scale. It goes like off hue. Yeah, I'll use that. I know what that means. So we will be stuck for a little pause for a while. We'll, of course, update you as things come along. But so far, Verdant, I mean, slightly in control of the map for the time being. But yeah. DMG picking up the Atacon, that's a big combat bonus. And of course, the additional stats. I think it's always... Oh,
that's a replay, lovely.
Of how Devon got caught. This is how Devon got caught whilst we were watching that top side situation. So it's Phantom Misto off from the side, invisibility, kind of semi-max range ult, and I mean...
Oh my word.
What could you even do at that point, really? by the time you actually see the Auroras on top of you, yeah, kind of almost can't fault Devon.
Yeah.
Really. Should he be catching the wave? Yes. Should he be pushing it up aggressively? Probably not. And it's a good capitalization from DMG there. But yeah, again, I think it's always Captain Flowers I hear parrot the stats of it's around 1,000 gold per every 10 petals. I didn't quite catch how many additional petals that they secured
Yeah.
from the Atacon, and of course, when you get the Spirit petals, their overall stat efficiency, we'll use that word, technically increases too. So we'll see exactly once we get back into the game in a few minutes' time, just how ahead, air quotes ahead, in stats they will end up being.
I mean, I wonder, you know, Verdant, the big issue we talked about is the fact that they have this lack of engage, right? Like your tools are Pantheon. He's the one who starts fights for you. Maybe a Talia knockback. And right now, I think Verdant are leaning very well into the fact that they've got a comp that's capable of finding these picks. But I think the problem is they're focusing too hard on finding a pick on a single player. And, you know, the last couple of moments have kind of not gone in their favor, where I feel like DMG actually did give a little bit up to them in the kind of earlier stages. And Verdant were able to kind of punish for that. And then DMG kind of came back. It's been a very yo-yo game where, like, one team kind of gives a little bit too much over, then the other team answers back by also giving a little bit too much over. Gold lead really isn't that significant right now between the two teams. So, you know, the later this game goes, yes, the better the Senna scales, the better the Aphelios scales, the better the Gwen scales. You know, there's lots of tools that both teams have towards this late game. It just comes really down to the execution and the way in which the comps work. Because I know a lot of the decks are very Verdant favored. I really like a lot of the kind of disengage angles and ways to keep your Senna alive during, you know, these late game fights.
There's a lot of utility, I think, is the word
that's
you're looking
the best
for.
word. Yeah.
In DMG's composition, and it reminds me, like, to be Unk for a second. A lot of natives back in the day. I know, Jake.
Oh my word.
It was something that, yeah, like we got to cast for maybe one split in 2022, and then for me it was a lot of their time in Division 2. But they loved compositions like this, where it was just a bunch of CC, a bunch of scaling that doesn't come from the face value of, you know, my kit has souls that get to stack up or whatever it may be. It's about execution on, hey, we've got Gragas and we've got Wukong. How are we going to use it? And DMG are piloting a composition very, very, you know, what would be familiar to natives back in the day here in this game. And that's why I think you can never really rule out this team here in this game, simply because all it's going to take ever is SLT misstepping and getting one shot. The same thing for Devon when he's not got any summoner spells. As we welcome you back into Summoner's Rift. And like we were saying, that gold lead is sizable. It's notable for Verdant, but when you zoom out, you look at the items, the only major discrepancy is in that top side of the map, where Chance isn't even too far away from that second item. But SLT, of course, with that Nizublage Rod, means that he will be hitting 3 very, very soon.
Yeah, Chance, unfortunately,
3.5k.
He's been kind of bullied out, bless him. Put a lot of attention on him. But the problem is you've put a lot of attention onto Chance on the Gragas, and he has been one of the star players for the side of DMG. So I can understand why you've put so much attention on him. But the problem is Fateski has also played incredibly well. Oh my word, Devon's health bar is just disappearing if Fateski gets in range to auto attack. It's brutal to watch. This mid lane tower, though, still remains for Verdant, so they have at least some kind of bulwark where they can use as a place to kind of play safe. As that Danker starts at the Baron, but they are on Vision, so this could be a little dicey. They're trying to bait DMG off the Dragon.
Devon's got good guns. Faceski just has to live and right-click. That's the main thing. Verdant have to find access onto this Senna.
Oh,
they've knocked out the Aurora, and where's the Pantheon going?
Thor comes in with the exhaust. They find the lockdown. Monkey Spin, though, is there to bail out onto your Senna, and that's going to be enough for them to secure the kill. They find the knockback. His chance to win is going low, but Fateski can continue to auto-attack away, surfing forward. That's going to be the knockback, though. That is a huge fight for Verdant. A triple kill onto Danker.
We said it, Devon had good guns for the fight, and it was about whether or not Verdant were going to get access to Fateski, and whilst he tries his best to live, and live for a damn long time he does, he's eventually found out. Phantomistos pushed out of this fight, and The immediate future looks like a 4v5, but look at Torre, just flash E, finds the angle, and everyone else collapses. He stays alive for a long time though, this Senna, but it's about eventually Devon's ultimate finding multiple members, but once Senkux repositions, keep your eyes on him because Chance goes down and SLT finds his way onto Phantomisto. It's just too much damage.
Yeah.
Everyone gets one shot, the knockback comes in, and Lulush just has to watch as the rest of his team dies before he follows suit. And now Baron has been secured by Verdant. They've got a massive, massive opportunity to deal some great damage to DMG's base.
It's one of those fights where I think the big defining factor was Chance is just so weak. He just wasn't able to survive long enough. Like, I think had Chance lived for like 4 or 5 more seconds, Fatesky would have killed SLT, being able to reposition, and then the fight looks very different. But because Chance is getting blown up so efficiently, Fatesky got hit by Devon's ultimate, and the AoE just did enough to him. DMG weren't able to utilize the power of their Senna. 3 items in on this Senna, so it's not like Fatesky's not going to be doing a lot of damage. This guy is going to be absolutely clapping people right now.
Exactly. It's the scary thing, too. Devon's now got summoner spells. He didn't have... I think Flash's Ghost might have come up whilst that fight was going on. Definitely didn't have Flash. Lulush is... It's going to be the world's longest flank that Dank is actually going to find out. So that's going to end right there. The Baron Siege just kind of continues. There's not quite enough wave clear to really stop Verdant from walking through, and SLT buys all the space he needs to. With the Shroud, and now the bottom base is open.
Yeah, let's let that inhibitor will fall. A little bit of poke off here. They find the monkey spin. They're going to go all in on Danker, though. They're going to put the Weaver's Wall as Senkux joins to make sure his jungler doesn't go down. Inhibitor falls regardless. That is really all she wrote on that play.
Time being, SLT needs to be a little cautious. Yeah, Flash.
And they're not back. There's going to be the engage, though, to try and find the kill onto Fatesky, but he's able to survive. He's healing up his team while putting out that damage. Dawning Shadow goes down. SLT heavily chunked. Danker is able to fire back, though, as Devon secures himself a double kill. Phantomisto flashes away. Devon jumps in, secures himself the triple kill. Lulush breaking away, but I think he's going to have to jump on the fountain and get some help in, but the damage is too damn much here from Devon. Calm Sky is incredibly low. That's the quadra kill on to your Aphelios, and that should just be the game. No pentakill, but one damn clean fight from Verdant. I was worried about their lack of engage, but it did not matter. They found who they needed, and they tidied up those fights. Risk.
Execution comes up bigger for Verdant in the end, and DMG... It's just that fight at Baron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that Baron force completely broke the game apart, because the overall game state wasn't even that bad before then. It was just a decision by Verdant to go, we think we can force and win a fight. And once that fight comes in and they kill Fatesky, everything looked green. Great game from Verdant in the end, because they did have control for a majority of it pretty much after the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, that was honestly, I felt like there was some life in there for DMG, but Verdant, as soon as they got ahead, they did not let go. They just kept in control and kept the tempo and everything in their favor and made DMG march to the beat of their drum. But we are going to throw it over to the desk to break down that game number 1. So Archer, over to you.
Hey, I'll start exactly how you ended it over to me here, Brian. The fact that Verdant got a lead and they never let it go again, which is not the usual thing for Verdant, especially versus LR game. I think this is a new vision, but also the draft was way better.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Wow.
I got a bit allergic to DMG's team fighting there, because I was actually impressed by them for a long period of time throughout the game. Or impressed and impressed. I thought they competed. I still thought Verdant were the better team. That macro was quite clearly better.
Yeah.
But DMG were able to get some punches back, right? The pick in the mid lane into the Arakan, and Devon getting caught a few times as well. So there were moments you thought, DMG, they're here to compete. And then, as Yamada correctly said, there was the Baron fight, and we'll show that shortly in a replay as we go back to the beginning of the game.
I think there are some really interesting components to this draft that I want to talk about. If we can bring it back up, production, real quick.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you have Engage and you have Wukong, and the whole of Verdant's draft really destroys Wukong in this draft. You cannot dash in over Talia Rocks and Poppy W, it's incredibly difficult. That didn't necessarily pan out that way, but that's the theory. I still stand by what I said with Torre overcooking, taking Poppy to support, whilst Braum, one of Senna's best pairings, still being up as a potential option into it, because you saw the entire early game. Poppy would dash in, get chain CC'd, and die. It's just like you're in anticipation giving the value there. They take the Pantheon and then they play with the double globals. I get that. I mean, here, right in this replay, they double ult in. You know, they play with the Talia ultis coming in too with numbers advantage. And this is just how you play with the double globals comp. I don't know what Fateski's doing here down in the bot side. And also, can we talk about the Senna build? Look, I'm sorry. I realize I'm going on a rant right now, but my God, I'm just sitting here molding, looking at Yuntal, i.e. Senna, because when you don't build static shift, Senna's biggest weakness is wave clear, right? You lose out so much pressure in mid game because you hit waves. You can't kill mid lane fast enough to then push and move. You lose opportunities when you don't clear waves fast. And with Senna's base wave clear, it's just not it. But some good team fighting after that from Verdant. And
massive team fighting. I think the big credit I want to say here is how they managed to make Fateski useless in this fight. After the initial engage where Torre died, he got one auto off before the fight was realistically already decided. You told me to look at the Aphelios ult here. I didn't notice it in the first instance of this fight. Because what I want to mention to you guys is, take a look at Phantom Misto when he tries to one-shot the Aphelios. That was what my eyes were on. And I know there's someone who, you know, sent all their spells to Nadia.
Yeah, look at this ult, look at this ult.
So good.
That ult was so good. But the missed potential from Phantom Misto, it wouldn't have meant much for the game. I still think they would have lost it. But yeah, I mean, credit to DMG. They were competitive, but Verdant quite clearly the favorites. And their macro level showed that, in particular, the late game team fight.
When you talk about the macro, we have to highlight that Senkax was a beast with his Talia. The way he was zoning everybody onto the objectives, just shipping away the damage, the health bars before the... That's disgusting. It was so good. The Talia is out, okay, fair. But also, the Aphelios is out. All of those champions that DMG also like to play. I think that's a big concern.
Yeah. I do think a lot of OPs got eaten up here. You know, Gwen, Pantheon, Talia, Aurora into future games as well. I think a lot of them did go through. I mean, going into future drafts, I'm looking at champions like Trundle that rise up. You know, that it's still open. Rumble's still available. Lots of OPs are still available. But yeah, taking away a bunch, especially with that flex picks, picking the Pantheon there, eats away at the roster.
I'll mention as well, so much anti-movement taken away. And when I think of Chance's champion pool, well, I'm thinking of something like the Ambessa, right? Which all of a sudden, the initial counters right there to the anti-movement is not as simple. So some trends there that I think give hope for DMG with so much power being sucked out of this draft. But we'll see when we get into the second draft if
by the
they
way,
want to take some of the power on the table.
Did you see the Wukong's damage in kills there? It's like, he cannot play this game, by the way. This is the power of the Poppy Talia rotation. Like, Wukong dashing in, he did a tiny fraction of his allies. Like, he just cannot actually commit to any kills because of the... because of the rocks and the W. It's super hard to navigate.
There was a difference not only on the draft, but also inside of the game. And it looks like Verdant are allowed to play the early game nowadays, which is a difference that we've seen before. So are they taking this the 3-0, or will DMG fight back? That's a big question that's going to be answered after the break. Don't go anywhere, because I'm watching you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for game 2 of Verdant versus DMG. This is a good opportunity for DMG to fight back with a different draft and different mindset within the game. Where is Faceky Hyper Carry? Where is a chance to win carry champions? So we're missing carries, we're missing ability to just run havoc. Is that it?
I mean, that's a bit of the issue, right? I thought Lulas wasn't really unleashed either in the game with the way they countered him in the draft. So there is plenty of room for improvement for DMG. I thought Verdant could be pleased with what they got most of the way. They got a lot of their power picks though, so we'll see. Obviously, I think they will become a bit weaker if DMG manage to correctly target some of the champions that are still left in their pool.
I think I always preferred Lulish on champions that could impact early a little bit more. Wukong is like a very... He wants to farm up and then scale to level 6 and then have very specific timers to play on, like Triforce. You're not really unleashed, like we keep saying. Champions with more reliable CC and early game playmaking, I think, fit the bill for Lulish more. Stuff like Skarner, stuff like Xin Zhao, Jarvan, you know, and so on. So I'd like to see that. I also think a carry for Chance. You know, Gragas, you know, you could view it as a carry. AP champion, like, you can't, but... He's been so much better on other things, right? I really think his Cassante, it's not necessarily carried, but his Ambessa as well. These champs that you should be gunning for. Maybe you can build an Ambessa composition. Stuff like the Buy Ambessa, dive compositions,
sides.
I think would be great. Counterpick for Chance maybe, with the red side.
I think that could be the angle so far. The same bands coming in. Yorick, the Varus. Now the Corki. Okay, yeah, they know Faceky wants to get a hold of those. Like something that can carry the team, something that can have impact. Maybe Phantomisto with a control mage, not going over the edge. There you go.
I think banning lane bullies, especially something like Corki and Varus, Yunara probably just goes through the roof because you can scale through the lane for free. Same with Kai'Sa. Anything that relies on scaling just goes up and up and up and up. I think in Fearless as well, when you go to game 2, 3 of Fearless, Zyra Rakan Blind just rises in prio because Answers disappear. Stuff like the Poppy's already out. Yes, of course, Nautilus can be a response into it, but it's just a thought. And outside of that, lots of OP still available. You know, we talked about Yunara, it's up. Will they B1 it?
Please don't. I don't think it's B1able, but that is
do
my
it just to
opinion.
shut up this guy. Do it.
I'm begging you, Verdant.
Don't do it, Verdant. Don't do it.
I swear.
I don't think they will. It would surprise me at the very least. I think Devin
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I
normally
agree.
doesn't scream these hyper carry guys, right? He has been playing a lot of the Jhin, a lot of the Varus, a lot of the Misfortune throughout the split so far. Like these are his highest prior champions, and they do it.
Hey, there we go.
Okay,
I'm so happy.
DMG, you have the funniest.
What
so
an
happy.
OP champion.
I'm gonna tell you though, I want you to say Yunara is overrated, Aragon, if DMG win this game. If DMG win this game, you can at the very least say it in the NLC then. Say in the NLC it's overrated, because I don't think it's
in the NLC, I'll concede that there's an argument that maybe it's hard to execute, right?
See,
because it's very scaling and you have to play on Windows. Now, Trundle is OP, and I would love a Trundle lock in here. The problem is, answers to Trundle are open, you know, common things like Jarvan plus Annie, and you just one-shot the Trundle. Anything that can be paired off with the Trundle, I think, can be fantastic. Here, as we see a lock-in. Is Taliyah open? No, that's gone. So we'll see what they pair off the Trundle with.
I mean,
the
there
skill
are
shot champs are great.
a lot of mages that could work with that, right? The Pillar very good
Yeah,
setup
the
for some
Syndra
easy,
as well.
Syndra,
Orianna.
the Ori, the
Orianna is
Ari,
open.
like there are a bunch of things that I think can work with it.
Yeah.
Phantomisto, maybe he wants to go the way. We'll see later on. It's one of his most played champions. I do like to see that. I mentioned it instantly, right, when we saw the post-game screen. With the two main anti-movement champs out, of course this will rise in priority. And for Chance, well, it's Chance's pocket pick.
I hate it.
You hate it?
I will say I hate it. No, you got to fish for Ambessa with a Renekton ban. That's why I wasn't calling it out, because I thought, like, you know, if you're going to go towards Ambessa, you're going to have to ban Renekton to set it up. Otherwise, the enemy's just going to pick Renekton here.
It's Chance. He doesn't
Like,
care. Bro.
it's terribly hard to play now.
Yeah.
And it also opens up windows for something like a Renekton Sejuani, and you're just going to one-shot the Trundle and have a good lane into the Ambessa. Now, they don't have to necessarily do this, like your Jarvan, but it's a very, very powerful matchup top lane for SLT, and it's somewhat unwinnable.
I have a
of
simple counterpoint there, Rigon, though. It's Chance to win.
Okay.
I mean, he does not care.
Okay.
He'll gladly play this. I mean, we saw it last time, right? He didn't. The Gwen wasn't supposed to be an easy matchup. He solo killed her anyway in lane. Like, I mean, the guy is so good individually that even if he puts himself in a bit of a disadvantage to get his comfort, I do still think that's fine overall for DMG. And I'm happy they didn't pick
So
this
much
Sejuani.
copium, so much
Duckling,
copium.
you're on the Chance Kool-Aid. You've had a bit too much to drink, I think. I think it's...
See, this though, that doesn't excite me. Is that what we want to do, Fejki? Second, see that? Okay, maybe now I'm off the DMG Kool-Aid. I will say, I do like the fact he didn't go for the Sejuani. I think the Trundle works well into that, right? All the resistances you can steal if you manage to get the Subjugate off before you get Chain CC'd yourself. The anti-ban makes a lot of sense. You highlighted Aragon, and who else could they really ban from Senkux in the mid lane? What's his most played champion? You've banned the Asir already. Maybe the Ahri, that's something he plays a lot too.
Yeah, I see Oriana ball delivery with like, for example, the Trundle or just landing it with the pillar, but I really think they've locked in it's not a great Zeri. I understand the concept. Zeri and Yuna are very free, like you scale up for free. The problem is Zeri's just so damn useless right now. He's super weak. Gonna ban out Enchanters, but I think it's probably gonna be something like a Nautilus plus Zeri, where you just play full dive with and go forward with the Ambessel over the top. I think that's probably what the vision is.
Maybe this is the Yuumi. Kamsky is the Enchanter player we have left in the split. He plays so much Enchanter. I know he has his Sona too. I pray he doesn't whip it out though. I wouldn't want to see the Sona here.
I mean, like you're right in that Yuumi could be a good angle because there's nothing to scale up with. But the problem is, like, you can't match the Yuumi scaling because Lulu's banned. There's no, like, there's enchanters have to be matching Yuumi, but you could also just play to kill it. So if you lock in Yuumi on R5 into a potential like Nautilus and so on, I think Nautilus is amazing here, especially into the Zeri Ahri. Point and click CC can be phenomenal. So that's what I'm really looking forward to here for Torre. It's also, in my opinion, one of his better champs. But like, they don't want to go for this.
Is available, for instance.
It is. It is, but I think point and click CC would really help them right now.
I don't know. I think his Alistar is always the point click CC. He's way too good with that. It doesn't matter. This is also something that allows you to push and guide, and you also have the roots, so you can stop the Zeri. You can stop the Ahri. It's a different point and click. I want to see that support.
Yeah, the support is the big question. Please let it be the Yuumi. I'd like to see it an R5 Yuumi. Oh man, would be fun.
I see a Nautilus into an Alistar rotation. I think that's probably the most likely thing that's going to happen. You have so much single target, and now it's going to be really hard to dash around and make up for the lack of, like, you know, the fact that Jarvan doesn't really deal with mobile champs that well. You now have the point and click to deal with it. Alistar's going to be the best answer alongside the Zeri, I feel. If you go an Enchanter here, you're just going to die off cooldown. I think it's really, really bad.
You wouldn't have a lot of setup either in fights, so like it would be very difficult to play. Maybe that's just because I want to give Komsky another chance on his Enchanters, and we don't see it very often. But it is maybe a bit too early.
Renata's
maybe it is a bit too early with how much power, right, is still in these engage supports. And how many are still left in the pool. There's simply too many engages left to make a reasonable cause for it, and sadly I will not get to see that. I'm not getting any of my wishes for what I want to see these players play.
Can I say it? Can I say it? I think DMG have completely face planted, tripped over their shoelaces, and face first into the pavement in this draft. I don't like what they've cooked up.
Deep?
It's so bad. They've completely lost top. It's unplayable top. They completely lost bot lane in terms of they've got such a weak pick compared to the OP. And then it's such a good Jarvan Rise angle. I just think it's lost. I'm going to say it from here. My prediction is Verdant have drafted Masterclass right here.
Okay, Duckling, where do you stand? Because that's a heavy one coming in from Aragon.
I think Verdant's draft is better. If they play for the team fights, they should win it. My one worry, or the one hope you could say I have for this Yunara to lose, is the fact that their carries are a bit short range. If they overstep, greed a bit, quick your Trundle pillar into engage or into a pick, could be Angus you could find a fight with. But I'm going to be honest, I'm smoking a bit of that we are damaged DMG copium here to try and find the reasons. I don't like the Zeri. That's the one big hate I have. I do believe
Mosquito Champ.
I do believe Champs will be able to survive the top. They maybe not thrive. I get the point Aragon is making. But yeah, my DMG copium tank might be running out a bit. I think Verdant should win this.
Hey, chat, I want to know, where do you stand? Do you think it's going to be Verdant, or do you think it's going to be DMG? If Verdant wins this one, it's match point. So let's open up the debate. You can now vote on the teams that you believe is going to win this one, DMG or Verdant. If it's Verdant, match point. If it's DMG, it's a comeback. We talked about it. Can we get it? We don't know. Now, I know the casters want to yap a bit, Jamada and Hip Brain. But final thoughts?
Don't let them.
What is
don't let them. We'll cast it. It's okay. No.
Hip Brain,
you're fired. Yeah.
I want to know expectations from the first 5 minutes. I think we can land that before we toss it to them. The first 5 minutes.
DMG suffering.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
it.
Okay. Well, that's a summary of it. You already know the plot of the movie. Take it away, Hip Brain. What do you think is going to happen? Hip Brain, not you, Jamada. I want to get a full-on analysis from Hip Brain.
Well, first of all, I want to say we need to talk to our son, don't we? We raised Aragon and he's given us Jip. What's he doing? Not happy
yeah,
with that. I'm gonna have
me neither.
Yeah. All right, we'll make him sit on the naughty step at finals. What do I think this game's gonna look like is a challenging question. I think, you know, looking at the comps and the way that they've both built, I think DMG are a very skirmishy comp. You were talking about actually kind of polar opposite to what Aragon was saying, where you actually felt like someone like Emilio would have gone really hard in that comp. While I agree, I do think the Alistair at least gives them some kind of like reliable engage, because that team was lacking on it prior to locking in the Alistair. But I do still think like Emilio would have gone harder, right?
I mean, for me, the reason why I say is I think it actually stems from the exact same reasons Aragon was talking about, where I think the draft was so doomed that you need to just try and band-aid it with something. And I feel like Alistar, like, yes, it's the most, air quotes, stable answer, you know, in the support pool. But at the very least, if you go Emilio, it's like, hey, if they botch and engage, then we've got the utility of the healing, the shielding, you know, the cleansing from Nautilus CC or the Rise and the Renekton to just try and turn something around. Whereas with Alistar now, it's like, well, cool, the CC is useful, but still, if Seri gets Nautilus on, there's not really much you can do, as that's a really cute gecko, isn't it?
Look at that guy. Is he a gecko? Yeah, I guess he is.
I don't know what he is. Bearded dragon? Similar shape? Missing the beard, though, I guess.
Well, that's... Yeah, well, bearded dragon... What is he? He's just a guy. He's definitely a gecko.
Guy.
Although he doesn't have the suction feet that geckos have. Although I actually have a pet gecko. Her name is Holly. I've had her since I was 11. And she's a leopard gecko, and she has claws, not the suction cups, so she can't climb. But she is technically a gecko.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you what defines a gecko from a regular lizard, but she is.
I was about to say. Well, reptiles? Yeah, reptiles aside. Summoner's Rift, Game 2.
Have you seen Chance's
Verdant.
sums?
Who's sums?
Chance to win sums.
Oh,
He
Chance
is going
has
for
a
kills.
Well, alright, well, this kind of makes sense to me. I would love to get Aragon's take on this. He's got Ignite, he's got Electrocute, and he's got the Rejuve bead.
Oh my word.
I don't
He's going
know
all in.
what the Rejuve bead, you know, maths is on, in terms of like regen over D-Shield. But of course, the big thing is that you get 4 pots. So I'm super curious about what Chance is cooking up here. As I'm being fed information that Ambessa doesn't have great base regen. So D-Shield completely clears. So this is more about like, hey, I've got 4 pots, you don't. And yeah, we'll see. Because my big concern is Danker's starting bot side. Chance doesn't have flash. Yes, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dashes. 6? I think I counted that, right?
I think
5.
so.
I think it's 5.
I'm actually yet to
You know
play
what?
Ambessa. Because I don't play
Too
top
many
lane.
dashes. Too many dashes for me to immediately go, yeah, that's the correct number. So we'll see how he pilots it. Because so far, the level 1 hasn't been going great. Again, the Electrocute's there for the short trades, but you still have to try and proc it over having Conqueror. Away from this for a moment, though, Lulish on the opposite side is pathing bot. Pillar is going to be very, very potent into a Nautilus and into a Yunara super early on. So we'll see how much work he can get done. I had a very, very painful game in game number 1. That Verdant draft was built and catered to effectively neuter anything Lulish could do throughout a majority of that first game. There's this time around a little bit more value, as SLT kind of did just lose a lot of that health for fun. But this wave will now, if he leaves it as is, slowly push back into him. And with Danker on this top side clear, again, that could be a very, very big problem for Chance in, say, 25, 30 seconds time.
I mean, the problem is his Chance is very focused on the trades. And SLT is pulling ahead in CS pretty significantly, I might add. And now, on the next crash, he might lose another wave just because Danker was thinking about going in for a gank. Sees that the angle's not quite there, so he's going to go finish up his grab. And then potentially, if he doesn't want to reset, he wants to try for that gank, he could look for it. But I mean, Chance should know the jungle timers right now and should be aware that there is a high potential for a gank to come in.
They could just
He's going to
dive
pop a pot here, get some healing
the wave
in.
is a bit small. Wave is a bit small, that's the problem. SLT has stun in 6 seconds. can they just do it anyway and then get out? I think the answer is no. And they call it off, so no play to happen. But expect this to be the attention to the top side for a majority of Danka's clears. We'll see maybe this time around, as I'd actually love to take a look at the minimap here, because ward on the Raptors, ward on the Krugs. They know exactly where this Jarvan is going to be for the next minute or so. Tomsky eats a really meaty trade. But it's also kind of being mirrored here. You can see Ludosh also spotted out, so information galore available on both sides.
You're going to be very aware of what the junglers are doing. And what this means is Chance knows that Danka's pathing towards him, but so did Devin and Tora. They're also very much aware that Lulish is heading down towards their lane, so this should affect the way in which they play the lanes. Right now you can see that they're just trying to crash this wave and then may be able to look for that reset off the back of that. Haven't actually gone to base yet. And Fatesky just going to have to sit under tower and catch what wave he can, but that Yanara W is so brutal.
It is. I was going to say, it really depends on what Dunker does off of this Raptor camp. They know he's on Dragon because they saw him walk towards it, and this fog from Verdant is very, very suspicious. Missing pings come out from Lulish and the rest of DMG. He's got to face check this, surely, but the problem is you can see Senkux has first move. He's got to just get a bit of information, but this is getting sketchy very quickly. Phantomisto can move now, so he's going to be here. Dragon's at low HP. Senkux.
The pillar somehow misses the charm on the guy who's that slow. They're going to give Dragon up, but DMG, they looked for the play, weren't able to find it. And it just came off mid prior. Senkux got first move.
Yep. That was a major thing here. Now, I'd love to know how this happened.
Well, he ulted. I can tell you that much.
Him. But, yeah, SLT is not in a great spot. Now, thankfully, the wave is slow pushing into him. And the health bars are awkward enough. Kalmsky has Aftershock and heal.
Might have to use it. There's the heal.
Yeah.
Do have their jungler about, but I mean, it won't be a...
This can't be good.
The ult from SLT gets the stunner to Chance.
Oh.
Chance gets a little bit of a return, but there's a rise coming up. Senkux, if you look on the minimap, looking for that teleport in. Chance immediately recognizes that, pieces out. And in the bottom half of our screen, we can actually see how Chance got the chunk out from SLT. Just hit 6 first, and then commits the ultimate. Really nice play.
Very nice. SLT recovers it, though, by hitting 6. I mean, the damage, I think, here, surely.
I think Chance is just about able to walk away from that one. I think that was about 32 HP. Kalmsky's actually here to play defend for his top laner. Chance no teleport. SLT, don't think the dive angle's there for him, so Chance will get the reset off, but loses some more farm, and that CS deficit begins to grow further and further. 20 CS up at 7 minutes over to SLT.
Alright, Danka, no flag. Lulish doesn't want any problems, he just wants his red buff. I want to continue to point towards Chance here, not because I want to bully him or anything, but he's got... Actually, forget what that item's called. It's something Vigil, I want to say.
Oh my word,
that
yeah.
Only builds into 2 items off the top of my head. One of them's a Guardian Angel, which, whilst funny, would probably not be particularly good to rush. But of course, it's going to be Death Stance first. So, for those who don't know, and I feel like I'm kind of leaking my own tech here, because other than maybe I think it's the stats guy. What's his name? The Shen guy. He's been going really, really crazy, posting a bunch of mathematically correct builds when it comes to the overall stats and win rates. Death Stance first on a lot of champions who like Eclipse. Kind of just is better because damage mitigation overall is just such a powerful stat that also, to my knowledge, can't really be... It can't be quantified by gold. It's just kind of how useful is it in the moment. So we'll just see how Chance scales into this game with this build. And what he also follows that up with, as Grubs has been started now, and DMG are kind of in the area. First one goes over to Verdant, but they don't use Smite. That's a face check from Torre.
Yeah, Torre's going to get caught here. Phantomisto comes in with the Charm and the Spirit Rush. They're able to secure the kill. Failed flashes is a first blood for Lulish. Over the wall, Phantomisto goes. Second grub was secured on the side of Verdant. DMG will be able to get that last one in the pocket. And I'm surprised, to be honest, because DMG, they were first to the swap, but last to the grubs.
Yeah. They only get 1 of the 3. So that's Feet of Monster Slaying going over to Verdant. The teleport coming in from Tori on the bottom side. So he's actually expecting Chance to maybe look for a rundown. I mean, if this does happen, and it nearly does, Tori could have found a very, very cheeky pick off of that TP tempo, but nothing comes from it. For the time being, we'll just kind of sit back and relax. Watch the teams farm up. Dragon spawns in just over a minute's time. Judging by the inventories, I'm not sure if anyone's going to have an item completed. Maybe Phantomista will be close, because Roa is such a cheap item. I can go back, spend the gold for it, and then teleport again. It's got 86 gold. It's 450 for the combined cost. He's actually leaving topside, so no one on DMG is going to be on the top wave. Except for now, I think this is a really poor decision. Because now you're going to have Chance stuck in topside with no teleport. And SLT will have his, so this to me is almost like they're giving up the dragon. So they have to make a play that works.
Very bizarre choice, actually, from DMG to...
I mean, the bigger head scratcher to me is that they had Phantomista walking top already. So, to kind of call him off and go, no, you need to go and match the rise. And then that makes Chance have to teleport top. I'm not a fan. We'll see if they try to contest dragon here. I think this whole sequence is... I'm not going to say game losing, but it's not going to put them in a position to win. That's for sure.
Yeah, real mistake from the match there is Karmsky actually just gets the headbutt pulve onto Devon. Just getting some light trading off, seeing if maybe they can use a health bar advantage to make up for the lack of summoner spells and the lack of teleport to Chance, who is still somehow up on the level versus SLT. SLT is about to ding onto 9 though, so not too far behind. And it still feels like DMG, even without their top laner being able to teleport down to the play and being shoved by the Renekton, are still sniffing around the dragon. They don't want to give this one over. If Verdant get this dragon, that is in fact the Monster Slayer feat finished for them. And then it's just going to come down to the potential. Is that, oh, Chance, hold on, he's still got ultimate. He might just be looking for SLT, waiting for an opportunity. The Ignite comes out. There's the ultimate from Chance. SLT just gets solo killed by Chance to win.
It's a horror show flash from SLT too. I mean, it's just in a straight line. He's flashed on the highlight indicator of the ultimate, and DMG gonna use this as a sign to start the dragon, because now it really is a true 4v4, and the engage comes in from Karmsky.
Nice charm comes in, but they do find the 2-man knockup from Tor's ultimate. In comes Danker, does miss the flag and drag. Zenkuks joins into the fray, but the cow is being absolutely cooked by Devon. They find the slow off onto him. Dragon still being continued to take here by the side of Verdant, but Danker is going to get re-engaged onto. That's going to be the secure of the dragon, but the charm comes in from Phantomisto. Nice pillar to slow down Karmsky, also limping out of this fight. DMG, they don't get the dragon, but they do get what they needed.
For the time being, I mean, it does feel a little bit bad to not get the objective, just based on how everything was set up. Everything was leading up to that for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Great smite from Danker, able to secure it. Karmsky's engage initially was quite good too. But no one ends up dying there. Which is, well, no one died at all.
Yeah, I realized, I said they got what they needed, but they actually got nothing. They just got out of the fight without losing anyone, which I guess is the best case scenario there.
Yeah, everyone was dropping quite low. Now we've got a rotation in from Danker towards the top side. Chance is resetting, but he's resetting in that bush, right? So Danker might just walk into him. He's gonna, he's walking up to collect the wave now.
Oh no, Chance.
SLT.
Drag.
He's got armor. Will it save him?
I think they're a little scared. The teleport's going to be enough to scare Verdant off.
Alright, I mean, now it's about the bot side of the map, because Zenkuks is down here by himself. He's going to have a wave to push in for free. Chance doesn't have teleport. He's got a long walk down to the bottom side. And Verdant, look at this immediately. Push in the mid wave. Fog from Tori starting to move towards this bottom side immediately. So this will be pressure onto Chance. I mean, there's some worlds where he could be scared enough to the point where he doesn't get to walk up. DMG now just reclaims some of this territory. And it is that Death Stance rush coming in from Yambessa. So, again, damage mitigation, the item scales better into the game, right? That is the main thing. My expectation would be Shojin second, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Phantomisto. I find the charm of the SLT there, but SLT just looking for a little bit of something on the side lane. It's Herald up in a minute's time, a minute and 10 seconds time. That's going to be the next point. of contention.
That's the big one as well. That could potentially secure first tower, which in turn will secure the feat of strength for Verdant and put DMG very close to it. Because right now, it feels like there's been a lot of action, but only 2 people have gone down. DMG have both of the kills. One onto Chance with that solo kill. One onto Lulish. Stanka actually going in for the flank angle here, using the Hex Gate, and Chance is on his lonesome, misses the ultimate. Remember, he has no flash. This time, there's no teleport to bail you out, my friend. Trying to dodge you on the flank and drag, but he does going to do a bit of work. Senkux will secure the kill. Oh.
Sorry, little giggle there from me was Torre using Exhaust on Chance when he's on 100 HP. Of course, he does get to kind of cycle the spellbook summoner spells, but this will be first tower. If Palmsky pulls off some heroics, maybe it will delay this. They're actually just trying to chunk him out, and they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, they are. He might have been able to stall it, as he actually all-ins onto Senkux there and gets heavily chunked out. 100 HP, 200 HP.
Whoa.
Chance has teleport if they
chunks.
want to hold the tower. Meanwhile, top lane, SLT, can potentially get ganked here by Lulish.
Senkux can TP to this. If this goes on too long.
John comes
Icons
out.
first tower.
Dominus goes down, pillars up. Nice heal from SLT, though, gets onto both of them with the Q. First tower secured, but that doesn't matter. That's going to be the kill there for the side of DMG. But feat of strength secured for Verdant through Senkux on the bot lane.
Yeah, I feel like Senkux may obviously the point is if he stays bot, he gets the guaranteed tower, and it's obviously just the safer play. I feel like if you TP there, you match the numbers. DMG end up using more than you, and you get to secure the hero. But I guess in this situation, they kind of get everything anyway. So SLT, it's kind of just a good death. Gonna have teleport as he spawns as well, so if DMG come into the contest, he'll be here for this fight.
Ultimate gets thrown down there by Faceski. That's going to be the cow picked up already, though. Nice Cataclysm. Catches onto Faceski. Charm comes out from Phantom Misto. Chance to win. Jumps onto the back line. Able to take down Devon, but Senkux able to fire back in response. It's a 2-for-1 so far, as SLT is starting to tidy the fight up. They're going to pull to win for the chase. Charm comes down. The Rune Prison's there. Chance is looking for Danker. He is able to answer out that damage mitigation. Doesn't do enough. 4 members of DMG fall.
4 indeed, but problem is for Verdant, they lose their jungler. Means the Herald is still up and available. Jake, that was a fight for the Blood God yet again. Kalmsky finds his mark on Devon, and the follow-up is really good. It forces Devon to have the flash, but Kalmsky just goes a bit too far forward. Tunnel vision, really, and whilst Faceski is forced to flash away, he's still able to reposition and get damage in, but it's once Senkux gets involved. Caught out by a root there. Fortunately for the Zeri, things get a little bit too dicey. Senkux goes for the chase down, but it's over here where we get our look at Chance doing his best. I'm not gonna lie, I think Death Stance is actually what got him the kill there. I think he would have died without getting that secure. Now, MG are on this dragon. Verdant are around, but Senkux on the top side of the map without teleport.
Anchor.
It's just a flip for the sake of a flip, potentially.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Lulish has got
He
the
wants
smite.
it.
They're actually peeling off, so they're just going to turn their attention around.
no.
Lulish comes back in, looks for the smite, is able to get it. They don't find a charm. Dragon number 3, and the first one for DMG is going to go their way.
I don't think Verdant were actually paying attention to the smites there. Lulish doesn't have the upgraded 1200 smite. Danka does, so they could have actually just continued hitting it. They stepped off too early. Could have had themselves third dragon, but DMG secure it. That feels great, and on the opposite side, Verdant will still get their gold trade in this top side of the map. 2,000 gold, the difference between the mid laners right now. Senkux is going to be a monster at this rate. Is a monster already, to be frank.
Oh,
Now engage. Chance wants
goes
the
in.
1v1.
SLT throws down the Dominus, though, goes underneath the tower. Jesus, that damage is huge, actually. Got the cleaver. They find the lockdown on to the Zeri. Faceski's going to fall. Calmsky is left on his own. That pillar is not going to do enough. Devon finds a beautiful slow off and a kill in his pocket off the back of that one. Verdant taking serious control of this game now.
It's starting to fall apart, I feel like, for DMG. The wheels are kind of coming off because, to me, it just feels like they're not able to make a play on their terms. It seems like every single time that a fight breaks out, it's always Verdant making that first move. And the execution has just been better from British organization. Now, The Herald in their back pocket, they can break mid. They can go and potentially break either of these tier 2s. The world's kind of their oyster. We'll see what they do because Archon spawns in a minute's time and it's very off sync with this dragon too. So they can really just batten down the hatches on this top side, stop any vision from being secured by DMG, and continue to snowball really smoothly.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, looking at items and the tools that DMG have to work with. I mean, you got your Yontal, Fatesky almost onto item number 2, but definitely still a little bit behind versus the Orc and the Hurricane picked up. Danka throws down the Cataclysm there. SLT just slides in. They're looking for a bit of Cow, but they've got 3 versus 2. The Cow's already picked up. Teleport's coming in, but that's going to be Chance equalizing the kills out. Danka continues to chase forward. Chance plays escape. The Senkux is looking for the lockdown onto him. Finds the Rune Prison. Torres chased over, and Chance is going down. They find the route onto Lulush. He flashes away. Hook goes wide. Fatesky turns up to the fight too late. That's going to be the end of that one.
Here's the Herald as well. Phantomisto was pushing in this top side, but doesn't even want to get the tower. He's moving mid to cover. I mean, I guess it's going to end up saving maybe the mid tier 2, but again, so much damage being done. Feels like every Verdant play is just yielding such heavy returns. Oh, the pillar misses!
So close, so close. Not close enough though. Phantomisto on the flank, teleport's coming in, and DMG, they just want to fight. Phanto's still got the flank angle, but his team's heavily chunked out, finds the charm and has to Spirit Rush away. Meanwhile, they're looking for a little bit more. Danka chasing onto Calm Sky, able to secure the kill. In jumps Chance as he has to jump away. Tor looks for the hook! No way does that connect! In Danka jumps as they're just chasing for more and more kills. Chance to win. I feel like the chance is 0 right now. Senkux takes him down. Phantomisto goes on the longest flank ever, and he gets locked in by Senkux. Nice charm to save his life, but it's only a couple of people left. They're looking to get the ult to safety. They're able to find it. That hook was actually illegal, man.
It was, but they made the best of a bad situation, shall we say. First secure onto Calm Sky. Even through the ultimate, they kind of just blow him up, and it then times out at the very end. Chance teleports into the middle of 4.
It just extended so much.
Joe, I need a freeze frame of the maximum length of that trench line in a pip immediately. That was stupid. Verdant, though, that in the back of our minds. On the Archon, Lulush is here. Can he win the smite? That's the question.
Oh, the Cataclysm.
They want the fight instead.
2. That's going to be the Arakan secure. Calm Sky. No one's here to save you, buddy. Devon is on a killing spree. DMG just limping away from every skirmish, every objective. They just don't have a horse in this race.
No, they really don't. This is feeling like a very quick 2-0. They're back to the drawing board yet again for DMG. Red side, they end up with basically losing lanes almost everywhere.
I think the sad thing is oh, hold on. Calm comes out into Chance's ultimate. Beautiful little combo there. They find the shutdown. Everyone goes aerial.
Devon,
but DMG find some extra. SLT tidying it up. Massive engage from him. Devon, ultimate will time out, but Senkuk's got a double kill. 3 down.
That was huge. No one was hitting the Yunara there. And if things couldn't get any worse, Rise also just hit level 60 because his rower finally ticked. So he's now also more than online. Look at the damage available to Yunara. This game's over. I'm just gonna call it now.
Yeah.
I mean, barring some real miracles, this one should be done and dusted. Keep your eyes on the Verdant ADC once he makes it to this fight, though. He's just untouched, and the Runans, the Q bounce, it's just doing so much work. Yes, he doesn't get the kill credits, but I bet if he pulled up the damage graph from that fight, that will show you the true story. That what was effectively 5 seconds. It's not Soul because they didn't get the dragon earlier, but third dragon secured. It's just a formality at this point.
I don't know, man. I feel, you know, it's a shame as well because I think DMG, they look really good this way. I mean, we talked about it at the beginning, or S talked about it at the beginning, but this is by far, I'm not even going to bother with this. Lulush is dead. Calm Sky's already dead as well.
Yeah.
Oh my word, it's gone wrong on all fronts.
Oh yeah, Zeri's dead
Maybe
too.
I should have played my
so story.
Phoenix.
No, it's all right. Kalmsky, yeah, all good. The house isn't on fire. Baron spawns in 60
No, it's
seconds
not
time,
on
by
fire
the way.
because
Like,
the fire's
that's
out.
not even up.
It's just a pile of ashes at this point, mate.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
It
But
is.
yeah, back to my point. You know, this is potentially the highest. Well, this is the highest finish we've ever seen from DMG this year. And
Yep.
I feel like this is a really solid roster, but Verdant also just looking really, really clean right now. And I'm with you on this one. The gold lead is 10,000. We're only 25 minutes in. I think DMG are going to have to look for one last run.
Yeah, and it's funny, you know, you say this is the best looking DMG roster that they've had, or, you know, this is obviously the best result that they're going to have, regardless of whether or not they lose this series. For Verdant, I mean, this is also the best roster that they've had, not just on paper, but certainly by the eye test. And this year's been a lot about kind of not being good enough. You know, a lot of second places from the seeding stage, top 4, I think, both times, but never breaking into the top 3, never making it to a LAN. This is really the best opportunity. I mean, it's the only opportunity they've got left
Yeah.
to make it to a LAN, but of course chasing the EMEA Masters dream too. And so far, I mean, they're demonstrating that the gorge between the top 4 and the rest of the league is absolutely massive. Further now, converging on this top side of the map, looking for chance. Very least it will be this top tier 2 tower.
Calm Sky gets heavily chunked out off the back of that one. That damage graph was quite telling, actually, because Chance actually has done 12. Thank you. Look at the damage, how much more damage he's done than SLT, but it's the mid and the ADCs. It's just where the difference is for the side of Verdant. They are just putting out so much work. Senkux and Devon, 8-0 on Senkux, 5-1 on Devon, and it's one team fight. Baron's getting started, and this is typically the point where we look for that kind of like desperation fight from DMG to see if they can maybe have a miracle comeback. But they can't. They can't even step up. They can't land the charms. And they just need to put whatever gold they can together, get these last spends in, because with this Baron, I think this is going to be the game-deciding siege here for the side of Verdant. Antimisto going to find himself a little charm off into a zap onto Danker, but it barely tickled him, to be honest.
I'd say the game was decided about 10 minutes ago. I do certainly take your point. Baron, I think the bottom line should be the game should end. Unless DMG... I mean, I've seen miracles. I don't think this is going to be one of them. Lulish, again, looking for a flank. Senkux rotating to the top side here. Danker waiting in the wings.
It could be a fat ult from him, and I think he's looking for it. Chance is the only one who's going to get hit, but pinned inside misses the ultimate, and already Fateski is down. Calm Sky will be joining him in the grey screen. Down he goes. Danker underneath the tower, he dives, and Devon is just outputting way too much damage. No towers to hide behind. Chance will fall. Devon secures yet another kill. 6 in the game, 9-0 on Rise. Antimisto teleporting in, but he is caught by the hooks, caught by the lockdown. Looks for a potential charm onto Senkux, but he is pinned on his fountain. Lulish joins back into the action, but we're going to match point. Verdant, this is looking very dominant from them here.
It is 2 very clean games. This one was decided before Baron. The last game was decided by Baron. And it just feels as though, to me, DMG keep on hamstringing themselves by not having consistent ways to really take fights on their own terms. And at the very least, I think in Game 1, it came down to a lot of the responses from Verdant. That then meant gameplay side, it was difficult to do that. But in Game 3, they need to just look at what's in front of them and answer, and not try and do a little bit too much like they have been in these prior 2 drafts.
And Aragon's going to be so smug about how bad Zeri is. I know it. I know exactly that's what's going to happen. So I guess we'll give him the chance to be that. Archer, over to you, buddy.
Thank you, boss. And this is a big one. Yet again, Verdant is forcing the enemy to play their game from the start of the game. Duckling, it's looking extremely good for Verdant.
Yeah, I mean, Verdant are looking really good. I thought overall this was a better game from them. I think SLT had a few iffy moments, but other than that, Senkux in particular has been on point this whole series. And you talked about just before the game ended. Can Fateski please get on a hyper carry? But we'll see for Game 3. I think Aragon probably has some thoughts by the looks of things.
What is
very
happening,
pondering.
boss?
Are you okay?
What is happening?
He's
You're
muted.
muted.
He cracked
What
out so
are we
hard.
doing, NLC? What are we doing? Why are the builds so bad? I'm not even a build, Boris. My Ambessa is going electrocute with no flash against Renekton. We're getting Yuntal Senna with no wave clear. Why are we actively lowering our win rate before the game even starts by 10%? I don't understand. I think they just need a build coach on DMG. Look, listen, Ambessa lock-in with no Renekton ban is already a crime. That's incredibly hard to play. And you're not gonna stabilize the Ambessa versus Renekton matchup with 2 cloth armors. It's not how it works. On top of that, no flash. You know, Renektons, you only have to stack 100 Fury and then right-click with W on Ambessa in the dive and you one-shot Ambessa. It's not even close. Next, Rejuvebeat. Ambessa doesn't even have that amazing health regen. This guy saw Atrius's Cassante build with Rejuvebeat and says, damn, Ambessa. But she has like the 4th highest. It's not even that good. And then lastly, Death Stance. We're giving up one of the best one-item spikes in the game for Eclipse. For Death Stance with the laser. And do you know what the worst thing is? Artrum, do you know what the worst bloody thing is,
What is it?
in this game? Is that the Ambessa won 1v1 versus Renekton. I am molding. It's the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. I can't
This
do it.
is
Can
a
we
safe
enough
space.
cooking?
This is
Enough
a safe
cooking.
space.
NLC, enough
Join
cooking.
us. Join us. This is a safe space.
Oh, this
Duckling,
fight.
help me out.
Yeah, I mean, let's try and bring some sanity into it. I thought Verdant did play the team fights very well. What saddens me a bit for DMG was, despite every question that it can be said about his build and whatnot, Chance was the best performing player on DMG this game.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed. I don't know if Fatesky just very much wants the wants a reverse sweep. That's why he's picked useless champs the first 2 games. But like they are handicapping themselves when they're already underdogs, which feels really bad. I want to see them have a game on equal footing. My first time seeing Yunara winning the NLC while I'm on the show, but I thought the Yunara was okay this game. Not the reason they won though, as I thought Verdant as a team was just better. DMG, yeah, questions have to be asked about what.
Hear me
you saw
out,
This
hear
game.
me
that
out.
hook as well, man. What the? Yeah. Go on.
I think it landed, okay?
Nah,
For
okay,
those
go
who have
on.
been playing League of Legends for more than 2 months, they know this is how Nautilus works. Admit it. Accept it. It's easier. And to be honest, I think Zeri at the moment is a way worse version of Yunara. I think Yunara is the upgrade. Remember the Sona with the Seraphim release? I think this is it.
Yeah.
I think this is it. It's just a different champion, just way better. And Fatesky needs to get a hold of something way more powerful.
Yeah, he got
something
pumped.
that can scale and just can deal damage from the beginning. Because at the moment, I see Verdant as an early game team. And I feel like I'm saying something which is a crime. Verdant is not an early game team. We've seen this before. So DMG has to prioritize that.
Yeah, and I think we could see it a bit this
Is he
game,
good?
right? That
Is
was
he
when the
good?
moments
He's
they
back.
that was when they had the moment, right? The solo kill top lane. For example, they didn't have as many good moments this game. And yeah, I think the damage numbers show that Sari was useless.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Hello.
Yeah.
I've lost my voice a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen, it's okay. I think we had bigger problems than chances. You know, despite that he's a Giga Chad, he actually 1v9 super hard given what he had, and despite everything, I thought he's a beast. In this matchup, it's super hard, and yeah, the Zeri 3.3k damage. I think Yunara is just a better end of the deal. I think Yunara is just a 10 times better version of Zeri, and I think it just showed.
Well, at the moment, it looks like Verdant is leading this series by a lot. Early game, mid game, and we didn't even get to see a proper late game. I'm gonna say what Jamara said it. I think it's the best summarize of this match. First game, Verdant decided. Second game, you didn't even get to see Verdant. Will we see Dragon on game 3? Or will we actually play versus Verdant? We'll have to wait and see. We'll be back after the break because we need to give Aragon some safe space. We were able to recover Eragon, and this is it! Match point for the cities. Verdant leading 2-0 after they lost versus Rich Gang. It was so confusing, the cities versus Rich Gang, and I think they were able to recover what happened over there, and now they're moving on to the lower bracket and just dominating. To be honest, as it stands, they're looking a little bit better than Nord.
I'll say, just if we zoom in on this series, I have some extra motivation for DMG. And no, I've not pulled out the DMG jersey I have. I'll save that for if they reverse sweep. But I did get a kind message from the guy we had quoted out. No. I got a message from the team manager, Danskman of Verdant, who told me that if DMG come back, or not, the team manager from Verdant, if DMG come back, he will get NLC tattooed across his lower back because he doesn't believe it happening. So Danskman has put his lower back on the line. We'll get a big ass NLC tattoo there. So for DMG, please come back. I want you to win 3-2 now. So I see the tattoo on Danskman, but that's all the motivation I can give the boys.
Hey, it's something. Maokai moving forward. DMG finally on the blue side. Instead of adapting, play what you want to play. Let's see if that's going to shift things. Maokai, Oriana, Varus, Rumble. Hey, the usual. At least DMG are adapting on the draft.
Yeah, I'm looking at Xin Zhao still open. I think that's just the B1 champion that's really, really good right now. Zaya Rakan, like I said in the last draft, is pretty damn good once a load of champs are out. Champs like Nautilus are gone, Poppy, you know, and so on. That let Zaya Rakan scale too. So, if I'm them, I'm B1ing Xin Zhao. I mean, of course, Azir's also incredibly broken, so I forgot that was there. That's a blank. I think it looks like it's going to be an Azir Xin Zhao trade.
Yeah, then the Xin Zhao's going to go over. I could take a mid lane as well if they want to. The Oriana gone though. Maybe something like the Syndra could be the combination they want.
Syndra. I think that would be the good move. You play safe. Senkax with the Syndra is like absurd. So
one of my favorite answers into Azir is just you gank it a bunch with something like an Annie. You set up with Xin Annie, just gank it post 6 or even pre 6 with the stun and really disrupt the lane phase. I think that's really, really great as well. Oriana's out. There really isn't that much that definitely beats it. You could also go something like Akali, these anti-mages that, you know, sustain the lane and then win side lane later. If you want to go that way for Senkox, but he doesn't really strike me as like an Akali Yone kind of player. Victor's more up his street.
I thought about this, but
I don't really like it. I think Victor's pretty weak right now.
Right?
And also, you're just going to get shuffled at 6 if you're not careful. So I think it gives a win con to DMG right here. Not my favorite answer.
Yeah, it's a bit of over-reliance on comfort, you could say. I know a bit more up in that Senkox prior pool with that Victor. I mean, do you want to slam it now? Maybe if you're bold. I want to see what Chance does, though. So many champs still in his pool. I mean, if you go this, though, you at the very least have to ban one of Saya or Rakan in the next rotation to make sure you don't give that over. But yeah, I mean, you have to blind Chance eventually. I think this pool is going to get trimmed. The Volibear, the K'Sante, the two main ones that he has left. But instead, you take the jungler, and that's the Nocturne.
Yeah, Nocturne with no real dive alongside it isn't my favorite kind of draft. But then again, on the other hand, if we lock in Kai'Sa with Victor, we also have two different things going on as well. So it's two drafts that don't have a clear identity, which is something you don't really see that often in League of Legends. I think now the best thing to do when it comes to these drafts is just to round them out well. I'm looking at a pick like Nico right now because you have the Nico Kai'Sa combination, which is super, super good for engage. But also you have Nico Nocturne on the other side, which is a combination of itself. So I think securing Nico here on 4 could be a very viable path for Verdant to go to. I see your fingers on your lips, Duckling. What's going on, mate?
Nah, I'm just thinking about the ban. Maybe they ban the Rakan away from Torre, something he's played quite a lot. The Alistar's now gone out the pool as well. I think Verdant today have shown that they are quite happy to just draft the comfort. So that's mainly my thought process in what are you going to be prioritizing in your ban.
I mean, I will say a champ that sticks out like a sore thumb, which has actually just gone now. Leona was the last hard engage support, so that's just gone. The best
Torre
engage.
doesn't play it though. Like it's one of his champs he never played. I can't remember ever seeing him play it.
So just an in-case ban then, right? I really think it's Nico. Does he play Nico?
Not something that pops into the top of my mind when I think of Torre, but I think he's played it once to split, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I really do think Nico is like the best champion here. That's super, super highly contested. The problem is now, if you pick Nico, the enemy could go Karma, which is like a typical answer. So with that up right now, as a potential answer, oh, there it goes. Okay, that's the last one. As for dive now, I mean, you're really running out of options for dive with the Kai'Sa because you want that. Maybe you go R5 support here and lock in the top lane. That's also a potential option if you just want to lock in a Sion, right? I think Sion now is pretty damn OP.
Is the wall, yeah.
And let's see.
Well, if you do that, Corki and Azir will be shredding that. I think the Azir will have an easier time taking out the Sion. Yeah. That's going to be the stable answer. Now, what do you bring versus this Sion for chance? Of the champion pool we know,
are we just going to lock it?
Should be the most favorable.
It has to be the K'Sante or Volibear. Like one of those two, right? Unless he throws in another champ in his pool. But I would be leaning the Kazante this game. I think that's the game where he can play it. There's not too much movement on
They
someone
need
like
some front line
Senka
too, right?
and, yeah, extra front line. If you want more all-in engage, I think the Volibear is obviously better, can quicker close the gap. But no,
that's new.
they
Have we
showed
seen
something
that
new
yet?
to his champion pool. No, we haven't seen that yet.
For
from
him,
Ken.
new.
So
Versus
okay,
Sign makes sense.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Cho'Gath into Sion's a classic, right? I just didn't know if we'd seen it for chance. They wanted some more frontline. Kazante could have worked, but they go for the Cho instead. Offers more single target burst as well. And now how they round it with a blind pick support. I think you've got to you work it out for you. It's kind of difficult. What's even open? Thresh? Like Karma? Nami.
He had a bit of a rough time on it last time around. I know he's a big
this a
enchanter
him
player.
Is this a him champ?
Horrible. It's Komsky is a big enchanter player, so it is very much a Komsky champ, but he just didn't have the greatest game on it last time around.
There was a Q on a single, like the entire match, there was a single Q that landed, and we talked about it, we memed about it. It's a heavy pick on match point, and look at the music. It looks like the teams are ready to go into Summoner's Rift, but before we toss it to the casters, chat, vote on who do you think is going to win. I know you're going to be heavily based on at least one team. I don't know. The Nami doesn't inspire me a lot of confidence. I like the rest of the draft. The MG, less straw.
Actually, I'm a disliker of both drafts. I'm a hater of both drafts here, but I think the most well-rounded one is Verdant. You have a stronger front line with better backline carries. You're playing a front line composition with a Kai'Sa and a dive composition with a front to back with the Nocturne. So it's like both comps are pretty damn weird, and I think this is a product of Fearless. I'm going to go with Verdant. I think their front to back is just better.
Exactly.
I mean, the nameplates make me leave Verdant. I think DMG can win this game. If they're going to get that one win I talked about, this has to be the game. They actually have good scaling now on the side of Fateski as well. So, I'm going to go DMG. Screw it. I'm going DMG.
DMG.
I want to be right in my prediction, so I'm going
he believes the last straw for DMG. This is it. Match point. I'm the host. I can't say the team that I think is going to win. Without further ado, Hipra Javada. One final fight.
You say one final fight. I mean, there is a world in which DMG can pull this back and to keep it going. But honestly, from the way I think Verdant have been playing this series, it just feels like they have such a better grip on the game. And I feel like DMG are probably pulling at straws right now. I'm curious for your thoughts on this one, Jamada, because we were having a little chat and you were like, oh, they're both front to back. But what the hell does the Nocturne do?
Yeah, I mean, that's really my big concern is I feel like Lulish is going to feel a little bit homeless this game. Doesn't have a dive buddy. Doesn't really have a lane that he can very easily attack, you know, in the first 5 minutes pre-level 6. And it's not really what you want to be doing as Nocturne anyway, so I'm a bit concerned for DMG on that front. And on the opposite side, whilst yes, you have, you know, certain members that can dive forward on Verdant, for the most part, you can play this as a very standard front-to-back and just kill whichever target is in front of you. Plus, on red side, for the most part, playable lanes. I think the bot side is where DMG are really going to have to get their bread bard though. Because Corki and Nami into a Kai'Sa bard lane, that should be a lane where they get a bunch of priority for a majority of this laning phase. So DMG have to do something with that.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually saw Calm Sky pull out the Nami earlier this week versus Venom Crest. And me and Aragon were both critical until the gameplay came through. And honestly, Calm Sky was really, really good at it. And, you know, they are an Enchanter player. Of course they can play Nami. But, you know, I have to admit, in a meta where champions like Nami, especially Nami herself, aren't particularly that sought after, it's nice to see them play it well as, oh, that's a big knock-up onto Lulish, getting jumped onto Danka. They got the free talent strike. Nice knock-up comes in from Chance. They are going to just be able to waddle away from that one, but Lulish getting chunked out at the start. That's gonna be a pain for him, and maybe Danka could look for an invade off the back of that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he wants to start on blue. I was wondering if they were just going to walk into the bottom side late and just have their way of the jungle, but they decide against it. Lulish will start on his wolf camp and then path down most likely. On the bright side, at the very least, Nocturne typically has a relatively healthy clear anyway, so whilst he is certainly very chunked, it shouldn't be the biggest problem in the world. You'll see, especially as he makes his way over to Raptors, gets the Umbral Blades auto passive off, he will heal a whole bunch of HP. Definitely a good look in from level 1, and Lulish no flash now. It just limits that playmaking power that we were potentially talking about. You know, if there was an easy to attack lane, it's now even harder.
Yeah, it definitely is going to, you know, slow it down. And also, one thing I kind of want to hit on is DMG, you know, you talked about the bot lane actually being somewhat their favored, but like outside of that, pretty reliant on those sixes. You need the Nocturne ult to really be able to make any plays. He does have a little bit of skirmishing power thanks to that fear. Versus Xin Zhao, that's somewhat mitigated just because Xin Zhao skirmishing also just superior. But, you know, you spell shield your fear at the right times. You actually could find a window if you've got lane pressure. Right now, your bot's pushed in, your mid's pushed in. Don't think Lewis really has any tools to work with. So he's probably just going to power farm to 6 and then look for a window, maybe an opportunity. Probably bot lane, to be honest. It's the most likely lane I could see him setting up into a play.
The only place I feel like he can free bubble to stop this push forward, because that could have been a really meaty trade. No summoner spells alone in that one specifically, but Face Key did use the barrier at some point. Now, chance is really low.
60 HP.
Well, 60 HP. I think it's time to go back to base. Danker will just run straight to top if he stays there, and I think that will be a very, very easy dive. Let's see how that unfolds once Danker's done with his Krugs, which he will be in a moment. Lulish is done with his red. He has to kind of run all the way to top side too. I think he has to cover this because he can't really walk into the bottom side jungle. And I think just off screen there, Danker had his, or rather, Chance had his recall interrupted, and now Danker's here for the dive.
Alrighty, well, Chance looking for the wave clear, maybe a bit of healing, but no. Oh, nice flash into the knockup. Danker doesn't even bother taking a tower shot. Really, really well executed dive there from the side of Verdant.
Just felt really telegraphed though. That's my annoyance, my grievance with that play from the perspective of DMG. You should know that's happening. Danker will seed that topside Skull at the very least, and Lulish is going to have a really nice time now. Clearing his wolves, clearing his Gromp, and then going back to base, spending the gold. Making his way to his first item, and of course, more importantly, level 6. Very, very quickly, but still, you know, Verdant got that kill. It goes on to the Xin Zhao as well. Xin is one of those really annoying skirmishing junglers where out of the kind of, you know, the pool that we have of like Trundle, Xin, Vi, he really does and can take over a game with an early kill. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for Danker and what playmaking ability he has in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those it's just one of those champs where, like, you know, he has great skirmishing, and then when he hits 6, you just almost get so much false tankiness just through the ultimate, and that are kind of like, you know, Baitski, Phantomisto are not going to be able to deal with him while he's in ult form, and, you know, that ult lasts for a fair chunk of time. Makes his life so awkward for those two to try and actually find the damage onto Danker, and, you know, him being part of that front to back, and you can't even really get the chunk out onto him early in a fight. It really just changes the tide of these front to back fights.
I know. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. SLT trying to prevent. I think Chances may be looking for a proxy angle. Going to be pushed off of that one. But yeah, relatively calm early game across the map outside of that dive top. Baitski looking to change that with that bout forward. Danker has pathed up onto this top side of the map, so could just prompt Lulish to start this one up. He knows, of course, that the Scuttle will see him, and there's pings already, so Verdant are very keen of what's going on, aware. Kind of make this an awkward take, but DMG will certainly get it. Danker has no interest in contest.
Yeah, Danker's nowhere nearby. I don't think it's even going to be that awkward.
Tori has smite!
He's got smite! He's going to do it! You got outsmited by a support!
Oh, I caught it at the last second.
Oh.
He swapped over to smite on the spellbook.
Not the instant replay. Make it slow-mo.
Oh,
make it slow-mo.
Okay. There's a big window of time. You can't be losing that as a jungler. And now Chance is in trouble. He's going to hit 6. Risky? I don't know.
Well, now that the knockout's gone wide, it's rough. SLT is going to die.
SLT,
Chance lives!
I think that one just deserves a little bit of silence.
Hold on, bot lane. Devon getting some damage off here onto Calm. Sky Barrier's been used. Bubble goes wide, has to bounce back. W gets blocked up by the minions. Just gonna call it there. Chance, you have greeted, my friend.
Oh.
You have greeted
Oh.
way too hard.
I think they talk about this
Oh,
in
Lulish is
the
here.
Bible. though, right?
Lulish has 6. Lulish has 6. They're going to find the knockup. The
He's
lights go
here.
out. They're going to jump in. They've got the fear. Chance to win is still in this. The silence is huge. Wind becomes lightning. But Chance keeps on fighting. SLT cannot find the kill. How on earth did that cockroach get away with that?
At what point does greed become gluttony? You know, like, first it's the wave, then it's trying to walk back in for the kill as well. Does manage to survive, but Chance certainly playing on the edge. We'll say it like that. SLT is going to have an opportunity to proxy. That bot wave state is very, very volatile looking. This knockup comes in, they actually back off down there. And then, I mean, it's just about kiting and getting the bit of damage in. He gets his pace interrupted, and then he walks into it. Like, Duncan was in the middle of auto-attacking. Like, if his auto-attack went off, Chance would have died. Risky business. Risky business. But despite the way that the top side play goes, Verdant are the ones that just walk back to top and get grubs. So, they're on the longer end of the stick of all of these objectives right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, Verdant are... Oh, that was close. Verdant are, you know, they're losing the plays, but they're still winning the map battle. DMG, you know, they're still struggling to kind of transition any leads they get into something more than just a kill. And we've seen time and time again, kills are not the way to win League of Legends. There's way too many other avenues through objectives and the power that they give you. You know, having a 1-kill lead is not going to be the difference maker here for them. Nice interrupt there from Chance as he's just trading versus SLT, but the hammer thrown onto him. I think they're going to find more as Tor finds a good stun. Zencut looks for the gravity field, but Phantomisto able to shuffle to safety. Not going to get under any real threat yet.
For the time being. I love this wet noodle fight. It's one of my, weirdly, one of my favorite.
SLT has
I
ult.
don't know why. Yeah, SLT does have ult.
He could commit. I mean, Chance could also flash. This could get dicey. There's the knock-up. Has the silence. Man, I was waiting for any moment there.
Gluttony Jake. Oh, Phantomisto.
Speaking of which,
Oh.
he's going to get himself cooked.
I wonder what other sins we can make this game have. Here's one, maybe.
Torres finds the lockdown, gets into the slow. They're going to dive forward. Nice tidal wave goes down, though, as Devin keeps on chasing. Finds the engage, finds the kill. There's the knockback. Barrier comes out from FaceQ, but it gets caught by the stun. They're able to survive.
Goodness me. Palmski's tidal wave there did so much work in delaying that engage, but unfortunately Danka had flash. Chance. Oh no, I mean SLT
Okay,
has
well,
mana for... Oh.
That was... I don't even know what sin that was. Pride?
Yeah, pride, maybe?
I mean, when we get to lust, that's going to be a real awkward one, buddy.
You know what, let's pull this all up.
I'm very much in Full
So,
Metal Alchemist.
just for
Alchemist at the
clarity,
moment, so I've got them all in my head.
clarity, we have Limbo, Lust, Gluttony, Greed, Anger, Heresy,
Limbo?
Violence, Fraud, and Treachery. Yeah, that's the first circle there. Come on, man,
That's not...
get your...
That's the circles of hell. That's... We're talking... I thought we were talking
This
about
is
seven
the
deadly
Dante-
sins.
I'm not... Oh, yeah, I guess... Yeah, but like,
Seven
they're pretty
deadly
heavily
sins, buddy.
tied... Yeah, but they're pretty heavily tied to the 7 deadly sins anyway, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, true. SLT is just going to flash to Chance. Finds a nice silence to interrupt the hammer down, but... I don't know.
I would call that flash from SLT Pride. No, that one... that one's just about not letting it go. As Tori will claim the kill. We will get all 9 in here. We will. We will.
I feel like Chance to win. I don't know what he was doing there, though. Like, if stupidity was one of the sins, that would have been the perfect one. Because I don't know what he was doing. Trying to proxy in Tower 2.
It would be. Now, Dragon is up. Verdant have numbers around. Ludosh has his ultimate. We'll see what he can get done. But again, it feels so awkward for Lulish with no immediate dive buddy. That's the big thing. Even if you go in, who's supporting you? It's basically just the gap closer at that point.
Oh,
Maybe
they're going to go in.
Devon, he can.
Devon's going to get caught. Is able to flash away. Tidal Wave goes wide as well. Total miss on the side of DMG. Don't get the ADC. They can now use this to press him forward. Fateski gets caught by the Tempered Fate from Torre into the lockdown. Calm Sky somehow still alive, keeping him going with the sustain as they finally answer out. 2 will fall, but they're shuffled back. The gravity field doesn't find a stun, but 3 take the portal. Phantomisto slowed by the auto attack from Tor. Will be able to walk away from that one, but 2 down. That's Dragon number 2 over to Verdant.
Feels like today Danker's been not the front of the queue for the Verdant playmakers, but in this one he's making it all about himself and he's doing a damn good job of it. But it's also this ultimate from Torre after Lulish tries to find his way onto Devon. Just a little bit too split, and that's where Nocturne, you know, without additional dive buddies, that's where you can get some value. But this Tempered Fate, just so good. Danker sidesteps the bubble. And it's so difficult for anyone to really do anything to Danker in this kind of situation. Devon dashes forward because he got the Plasma proc off of the Xin knockback. And the fight is super easy to execute. And they get themselves their second dragon of the game.
And they get themselves the Feat of Strength off the back of that one. So boots upgrade across the board. Nice little bonus. DMG haven't had a single one of those, actually. They've always lost on the Feat of Strength to Verdant. And real balls back to what we were talking about earlier on in the game, where it just feels like every time DMG find a play or a pick, they don't actually translate it into anything. It's just the kill gold. That's all they gain. And unfortunately, it's catching up with them. The gold lead's already 4,000 at 13 minutes. Make it 14 minutes if we're going to round up, but I don't really know what DMG are going to be able to do. I'm really happy with this plate gold, actually, here. 4 plates over to Verdant, 0 DMG. And Lulish just caught sleeping in his own jungle. This Sloth is going to be able to survive that one, though, but the portal out from Torre means he is not caught at all.
So difficult to walk into anywhere, really. No priority. Just feels like Lulish is going to get suffocated out of this game very quickly. Chance. What funny business do you have here today? He yells quiet and then walks off with his prize of the little golems.
Verdant, 1 game away from knocking DMG out of the tournament as they're going to jump in. The lights go down and Sushi's on the menu for Calm Sky. Nami falls. There is no follow-up from Lulish's ult there. Could not find the window to jump in. Fateski's doing a fair amount of work to Tor, but Tor, I feel like he's just toying with him. His chance finds himself caught out. Lulish may be able to find Danker, but the ultimate's huge. Nice Tempered Fate will buy some space. Chance gets the silence off, but he is being absolutely fried by the Victor. Senkux will secure the kill. And the jungle just falls over to Verdant as well. No quadrant for Lulish to farm.
Just so difficult. And I mean, again, I don't want to call a game before it's over, but where do DMG find anything? You know, how do they come back in a game where Verdant just have so much control? SLT is very happily facing up against Phantomisto. Remember, because he was laning against Chance, he was happy to go an MR item, so Sazir is not going to force him out too much. Ori.
They're not actually going to commit, though. They get the Tidal Wave out.
Yeah, Redemption comes in. But that healing is enough between the plants in this skin.
Little bonsai trees.
Little bonsai trees, yeah, very cute. To just force DMG off. So, I mean, again, I'm just concerned, in a little bit of despair for DMG. It's been such a bright split, but it's starting to feel more and more like they are just going to end up going out on a whimper here. Herald is now secured, and I mean, this top tier 1 looks prime for the taking, but realistically, they don't need the Herald for this. You see, Phantomisto's backing off, they're just going to give this tower, and on the opposite side, there is no cross-map. It is just Senkux defending down there. No one on DMG is in place to make that play happen either.
Yep. SLT secures himself the tower. First tower of the game. And it's a rough one for DMG, unfortunately. It felt like in the first 2 games, I felt some life, I felt some avenues, but I mean, your engage is Nocturne R, or Phantomisto finding a good shuffle onto like the whole of Verdant. They're lacking engage, and front to back is going to be hard to pull off versus this this Scion, who's just getting more and more tanky as the game goes on. He's got 770 additional health right now from his passive. He's already pretty big. Hollow Radiance, like you said, can eat up a lot of what Phantomisto is going to be pumping out if he's in lane with him, which right now, Phantomisto is having to reassess where he's going to stand in the map. And he's also got that Bramble Vest to start to deal with some of the AD threats coming in.
They will. Chance. He has Flash. He's used it. There's a Tidal Wave, Jake. It might be enough space.
Let's go out. Looking like Torre is able to survive this one, but they jump in immediately on to Danka. SLT joins into the fray, though. They look for the bubble. They're able to find it. Phantomisto gets caught by the microwave, and he is getting cooked by Senkux. Is able to break away. DMG is just too far behind on the gold right now, but they don't have the damage to really put it in. Like we said, the front line is getting too tanky for them.
Biggest problem for them, really. And it's going to be third dragon because of it, too. I mean, not much else to say. I feel like the gameplay is doing a lot of the demonstration part here for us. They'll pick up this tower. Another one for them. Danka, I mean, without ultimate, I don't think he would have gone in if he'd found that. But the jungler is leading the damage chart right here. He's putting in a shift. Phantomisto's on the way. Not going to look to commit because take a look at the rest of the map. Mid lane, whilst there's no wave, Verdant will certainly take prio here and look to move to a side of the map again. Next objective is going to be Atacon. And I mean, whilst the gold isn't so far gone that DMG are completely out of it, it's when these second items start to come in when I think the big problem really starts to occur. And that's going to be right on time for Atacon, I'm pretty sure, too. SLT forced back a little bit, and now you can kind of see Cho'Gath is starting to, at the very least, put a bit of a dent in this big beefy boy with those Vorpal spikes. The max HP damage does stack up over time.
Yeah, but Devon, I mean, that was just an E that hit onto him there from Fateski. It was absolutely huge. Nice dodge. Fateski not getting caught by the Q. What have we got objective-wise? We've got Atacon in 17 seconds. That's actually spawning up on the other side of the map from where Verdant are currently posturing. But Dragon number 4, actually. That's Soul for Verdant.
Yeah.
In the next 3 minutes 30. It's crazy because I'm so used to DMG having at least one Dragon that it feels like Soul's not this early in the game, but they are way too in control. Ooh. And they're going to look to open the map up. Oh, no. Crazy Taxi.
Misinput. Great game, by the way.
Oh, hold on.
For my time. Oh, no, he's out of time. Like, it's going to time out now.
There it is, okay. He just wanted to get to Scuttle Crab.
Skull Crab, yeah.
Yeah, called Nuba.
Bye, Herald. Bye, Shelly. It was nice knowing you. See you next week. Akon's up. I'm just... It's a difficult game to commentate this one because DMG... The big problem is that their ability to make plays is so limited. And Verdant with this much freedom just can continue to do this, just walk around the map, find someone who's out of place and kill them easily. Chance is now dead.
Getting taken
they can
down.
keep on pushing this advantage until they get objectives.
Well, lights go out. They're going to full send it, try and find the fear. They don't make the connection. Senkux doesn't get anyone with the microwave, but in comes Phantomisto! Feel his wrath! Can they find the kills? The tempered fate is too damn big! Torre, what a hero save!
Goodness me. Bard just comes in clutch there. If it wasn't for that, maybe, just maybe, DMG would have something to talk about from this game. But right now, it's looking quiet.
Good bubble. Calmsky's just about to be able to survive, but Senkux secures the kill. The Leandris burns enough. In jumps SLT. Fateski is just tickling at this point. That Corki only on Triforce, can't put out enough damage. Atacon will be going over. 1 minute 30 until the Dragon comes up as well. DMG are looking down the barrel here. This could be their final game of the NLC this year.
I can only imagine DMG are kind of just envious of what Verdant are running here draft-wise. It just feels so much easier for them to play by comparison. And again, the execution just... it's hard to even say it's necessarily coming up short on DMG's end. It's just Verdant are playing these situations better. That is just the bottom line here. DMG cannot keep up anywhere. Atakan in their back pocket. 43 petals. Whew. 43. Obs, could we get a hover on that? Like, on... If we click on anyone on Verdant, I just want to know how... Like, just the raw stats. That's got to be ridiculous.
There we are.
1000 XP, and that's 32 adaptive force for Senkux. And if I recall correctly, that will probably translate out to about 30 AD also for the AD champions. So...
Oh, well, they're looking for the fight. They're going to jump in. Devon. Oh, nice ultimate. They got the shield. They got the survivability. The redemption. Can't find the healing. Foitsky's able to secure the kill as Torre finds the lockdown. Cosmic Binding keeps him in place. Danker gets shuffled back. Ultimate, though, is going to keep him alive as they're able to answer out onto Lulish. Foitsky's incredibly low as he's trying to pump out damage off screen. Is able to get himself something, but it's a double kill. Make it a triple kill for Danker as he is chasing Foitsky for the quadra kill. Chasing wind becomes lightning. Danker gets himself the quadra kill and he is lusting for the penta. Down goes Karski. There's the penta kill. Verdant have just put the stamp on this series.
This one's over, and Danker is going to crown it off with a pentakill. This game, it's been a complete disaster for DMG, but it's elation. If you are a Verdant fan, Devon gets caught out, but in the end, it just doesn't end up mattering. The fight is too scattered. Once we see Danker get pushed into Lulish, he just one-shots him with the Divine Sunderer, or the Sundered Sky rather, and the 3 talent proc as come out of that replay. Dragon secured by Lulish!
It's a
He got it!
But it's too little. It's too damn late. And that is Lulish. Honestly, 07, brother. Good steal.
Now that's definitely a moment of pride. Even if they're going to end up losing.
We have actually now
we've
picked
hit all
them all
7
off,
by
by
now.
the way. I did check. All 7
Lovely.
Sevi sins are done.
Alright. We can chuck that one out now. So if we move to the 9 circles of Hell 1, we've still got Treachery. You know what? Phantomisto's shuffle back onto Zit. That looked a lot like Treachery to me. We could get all of that mythology in now.
Let us know, guys, on Twitter. What mythology do you want us to do next cast? Although, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think there's going to be another cast today. I think Verdant have too much of a lead. They have too much control on the map. And this Baron is probably going to be what cracks open the base.
Yep. Certainly should be. Could you say DMG still being stuck in this game, Hello Boy, for 25 minutes is the first circle of hell, also known as Limbo? Because I feel like, with no ability to actually make a play,
I'll give it to you.
Like, yes.
I'll give it to you, but the tidal wave comes out, Calm Sky will fall, Senkux gets him with the microwave, in jumps SLT, Hammer goes down, and the microwave grows, Lulish is going out, double kill, but Phantomisto caught on the edge, being absolutely fried by Senkux. Torre is able to secure the kill, they jump in onto the Cho'Gath, he looks so squishy, he can't survive, it's a double kill onto the Bard, as the Nexus will fall, and Verdant look to 3-0 DMG, knocking them out of the NLC and advancing themselves further through the playoffs. What an absolutely monster performance from Verdant. Foitsky just stands on the fountain and watches his Nexus explode. DMG knocked out. Verdant take the win.
Verdant lock top 4 and a date with Nord Esports. They do not want to miss the opportunity to lock in EMEA Masters, and they keep the dreams of making it to Stockholm alive. And this feels like a very big statement series of, we are the top 4, because we looked at the initial bracket and said, this looks pretty clear to us. Nord, Los Ratones, obviously here, Verdant, and Rich Gang. That was the defined top 4. They now lock that in. The rest of the matchups now going to be complete bangers, and to me, we shouldn't get a lopsided series anymore. right?
No.
That was the series that says to me that the top 4 really are separated from the rest of the league.
Yeah, I think, honestly, from now on, NLC is going to be an absolute banger place to watch League. We're going to have some really, really solid games coming up. But for us, I think that's probably us donezo. So we're going to pass it over to the desk to break down today's action. So Archer, over to you.
It's a wrap. 3-0 in favor of Verdant, and not much to talk about it on the last game. They just solidified what they've been building throughout the day. It shows that they are adapting to the enemy as well. I'm getting a good feeling from this Verdant team.
Yeah, I mean, biggest stump of the day. I think that's the short way to phrase it. They were dominant. It was very telegraphed what they did, right? The dive top was clean. I mean, the one mistake I really remember was the fact that SLT died on the second one they did when they went for round 2. But they were winning every lane. They were first on the objectives. And yeah, I mean, they were just able to run around the map as a team, be better coordinated, catch out picks individually. They were very few team fights this game because they didn't need to. They just got the pick, got the objective, continued to build their goal lead. And then when they finally were forced to team fight DMG, they got spanked.
Yeah, I think that game 3 was much better than the games 1 and 2 at the very least. You know, just giving credit where it's due to DMG. I think they definitely put up a fight in game 1 and 2. But yeah, I mean, what we prepared, or at least our production, shout out Casual Cutie, prepared a highlight reel for Danka because let's be honest,
He was great.
Danka was pretty insane this game. I mean, there was like a specific moment with a micro I thought was absolutely crazy. W flash here. There was a two-man W in a team fight later on where it was just ridiculous. It was super clean. I think it might have been this one, but like just the entire game. And of course, who could forget the Penta at the end? I think Danka was just phenomenal in this game. Was it right here with the two-man W? Crazy stuff.
I think it's serious note there for North. If North have watched this series, they shouldn't allow him to get the Sensao in next week's games when they play against each other, because he is, and I feel like that's the whole split when I've seen him on it. He's been very good, but this was
it was a game 3 as well, right?
Yeah, game 3. Like the fact that is allowed to go through, I think the pentakill just sums it up. I had some issues with how DMG played as well. We'll see the final fight where he gets the pentakill. They get the pick first, very good. They then get disjointed. Fadeski just keeps focusing the Bard, and all he needs to do is go down and help his team. I'm not sure they still would have won the fight because they were very far ahead. But right now, at this moment, get down to the bot lane and help. Yes, CC'd, and Tori is very annoying. But get down there. But still, he walks up to try and poke the Bard. Your team is battling against the very fit Sensao. They need you there. And,
yeah.
No,
you're completely right.
Credit to Tori, but Fadeski also spends 3 more seconds or 4 more seconds afterwards, still just chasing.
Yeah, if he had uptime on Danka, Danka probably dies. I completely agree with you here. I mean, he saved the Penta, but I just want to highlight, Jomada said it on cast, but it's so ridiculous as a jungler to have the most damage in the game after 15 minutes. Like, you have a whole laning phase where tanks are hitting each other with grasp off cooldown top lane, you have double range lanes bot lane, and you're out damaging that? Right, really? Danka had a phenomenal game, finding so much DPS everywhere. I think he deserves a huge shout out, and that's why I think this series, just off of that last game alone, is probably my MVP. Senkux is rough. I think you have some words about Senkux.
Yeah, think about it. The Taliyah was also one to talk about it. Danka, Senkux, and Tore. Tore is always there. Let's be honest, Tore will always be there as a support, which is good. But to be honest, I don't know who I would vote. So this is up to you, chat. This is not up to Aragon. This is not up to Duckling. This is up to you. Go on Twitter. Vote on who do you think is the MVP of the series versus DMG. I think all of them deserve the MVP. But yeah, between Danka and Senkux, game 1 and game 3, I don't know, boss. I don't know.
It's hard. It is very hard. I don't know who I would have picked, to be honest. I think Senkux was just consistently near perfect today. Can't remember many mistakes from him. He was good on the side. Even when DMG got some upper hand moments, what was Senkux doing? Well, he was maximizing the counterplay, getting a turret, getting himself further ahead. That's on the Taliyah, that's on the Rise, and then didn't notice it much this game because this was very much the Danka show, right? Across the map, but might lean his way, not only because of the Danish bias, but because he was phenomenal in 2 out of 3 games.
You know what? I'll make this question towards the interview, which is Akali. So he's not one of the MVPs. I'll ask you, who do you think is the MVP? Between Danka, Senkux, and Tore.
I mean, with the pentakill coming through, I would say Danka deserves the MVP. But yeah, I'll leave it up to the chat as well, because I think collectively we progress well throughout the series as well.
No, and also from the previous one to this one, Akali. Hey, congratulations. I think what happened versus Rich Gang, we need to talk about it. Some investigation needs to be done. But yeah, I think it's a different team, or a different view of the team can provide within the game. Obviously, what's your point of view when we look into this?
Yeah, I think the past week series, we had it under control. I do think that Rich Gang on second game was clearly better. The third game, we had it under control. We were 5k gold ahead with Ryze and Senna being well put in the game states. We just overplayed the Atakan when we could have just pushed mid and top. It was in the bag. Props for Rich Gang to pull it off and the comeback, but it was supposed to be our spot. I do believe that we fixed a lot of our issues, even though we still have issues. We're not even close to be a flawless team for sure. But I'm happy that we have progressed, because most of the key issues that we've had are gone, but we are still doing some individual plays that we shouldn't do. Sometimes we're not on sync, but it's still a better approach into this week, even though DMG, with all due respect, are a different opponent from Rich Gang, because I think there's a clear difference from the top 4 and the top 4 and the bottom 4 as well. But
yeah,
before I pass the word, I would like to give a shout out to Lulus and Calm Sky as well for the Portuguese representation as well. Yeah, GG's to them.
we have so many PT on NLC. I don't know. We're just invading the northern region. I'm just saying, Akali, I do feel like the team has a different mindset from the beginning of the seeding stage till now. At the beginning was like 40 minutes plus, 50 minutes plus. I now see an early game coming in for Verdant. Is this something you've been trying to fix or to deal with this team?
Yeah, we've been trying to transition our endgame a lot better, especially because of the example that I've given about the Atakan. Often we would play just every single objective we would see in front of us. We understood that cross map is actually a thing we can do, and we don't always need to face our opponent in every single objective, mainly when they're showing 5 people in the map. So we're still working upon having a better game 1, for example, having a better early game in some instances, because yeah, I do believe the team has a lot of potential. I'm not happy that we are... I mean, I'm happy that we won, don't get me wrong, but I'm really unhappy, and I was really mad that we lost versus Rich Gang. Everyone was really mad. We expected to win. We respected the opponents, but we had the expectation to win, of course. So it was a really big wake-up call for us to get a grip and for us to lock in for the remaining of the series and go step by step. We knew we had the upper end versus DMG, and we believe we are also going to progress really well versus Nord, because they're not looking that good as well.
Oh, I'll get to that one, but you were talking about locking in. What should we do if you ever lock in Senna again with that sort of build of the Mosquito? Is that a way that we can find you and punish you? Or is that like out of your own... Is that a willing pick? I don't want to flame you. I just want to understand that.
The Mosquito Senna, what do you mean?
It sucks! There's a team fight where Dev is auto-attacking for like 15 seconds. He's not dealing damage, he's healing Cyan. You know that. You see that.
I mean, yeah. In theory, that fight shouldn't happen, so in his defense, the Mosquito build shouldn't even come through by that point. We shouldn't even fight our opponent and flip the fight in the first place. That's one of the main reasons, but yeah, jokes aside. Yeah, we've seen a different Senna build today. I think that one takes a longer time to scale as well. It's a more expensive build too, because crit builds in comparison to with the Unital and all of that.
And the wave clear, boss. It's not there. Yeah. The wave clear.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There was some different issues, a lot bigger than the Mosquito build, but sure.
Yes. Tell me something. Going to Nord. This is it. Nord. Verdant versus Nord. I want to know. I want to know your perspective, like what's going to happen and where should we keep our eyes within the match. Keep in mind, I will clip this to use on pre-show.
Sure.
Where should my eyes be during Nord versus Verdant?
I mean, first of all, I want to send words of appreciation to Nord, because that is the first team that I've coached transitioning into ERL 1 as well. So huge shout out to Michelle, A huge shout out to Scotty. I'm not sure if they're watching the interview, but much love to you guys at Nord. I do respect the organization a lot, but now we have to get serious, you know? We want the spot in top 3 at least. We want to lock EMEA Masters. So when it comes to the conflict, the direct conflict in front, I want us just to be as stable as possible. If you want me to highlight a specific matchup, I think Danka needs to really get Piankos for us to have a better chance. I do think that we can definitely do it. As I said, I don't think Nord is looking too good. I've heard the Treats interview as well. They're not feeling too well right now, despite the 3-0. I think today's 3-0 is not the proof that we're looking too good as well. I think we're better for sure. But both teams are favorites, and we need to lock in. Both Nord and us need to lock in, but I'm confident that we will pull out the victory regardless.
Okay, that's a fair statement, Akali. Any last words for Verdant community or anybody that is watching?
Yeah, I would like to, above everything, just thank my players for their commitment. I know it's been rough. Sometimes we have our moments, but it's a perfect environment. Like, the team loves each other. We just have a great bonding with each other, which makes things a lot easier even when we lose. So I want to thank all of the players. I want to thank Demon for his help in the scouting as well. I've scouted myself, but Demon has also helped since he has arrived. I want to thank Nicholas and Sammy for the trust in my work and the players for the trust all around. So yeah, I hope to see you guys very soon, and with more responsibility, discipline, consistency, and assertiveness versus Nord, we are coming for the top 3 at the very least. And thank you as well.
Best of luck
for the interview,
What?
as usual.
It's always a pleasure, Akali. You know that we go a long way back. Best of luck. I don't know what's gonna happen versus Nord. I know it's gonna be extremely difficult, and may the best team win. Good luck, boss.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one. It's a long interview, but I wanted to get a little bit more information regarding versus Nord as well, so we can understand what can we expect from that one. And these are 2 teams that are on the top 4. We talked about the Nord and Verdant, but at the same time, they have some clear issues, and they are aware of that, and they need to fix that. Let's see what happens.
I would
Any
love
thoughts?
to see. Yeah, can we see the bracket? Beautiful. I think this is where it gets spicy, no? I think this is where it starts to get really spicy. This might be the first 5-game series banger, I predict. I think... Who are you favoring, Duckling? I'm curious.
Oh boy.
It'll be very, very tough to predict. The main takeaway I want to say is we have 3 game days next week. The first is to decide the final EMEA Master spot on August 20th. On August the 21st, we find our first contestant in Stockholm. And the day after, we find our second. So every single best of 5
It's a banger.
has something on the line. EMEA Masters, and then 2 series to define the 2 representatives to go to Stockholm. So absolute must-watch series next week. It's going to be peak cinema. And the top 4 will duke it out bravely to see who comes out on top. And I'm so excited.
Don't take this out yet. Leave the graphic, and there you go. It's gone. But it's going to come back. Don't worry. Because you were talking about 20, 21, and 22. Okay. On 20, Nord or Verdant are going to get out. Obviously. One is removed. But the other one that goes into the finals of the lower bracket are also qualified for EMEA. So it's not only the opportunity to go to Sweden, but instantly get into EMEA if you win either Nord or Verdant. Moving forward, 21, LR versus Rich Gang. This is going to be a tough best of 5, but also whoever loses plays the next day. So you're still trying to soak in the defeat. Oh, I'm not getting to Sweden right now, but I have to lock in because tomorrow I have to do it all over again on the best of 5 versus the top 4 of NLC to get to Sweden. Rough, but it's the northern region. Be used to the cold. Imagine like you lose the best of 5 and then you're like, guys, let it go, lock in, tomorrow we have another step ahead. It's hard. It's the
gauntlet.
But it's cinema.
Yeah.
It is.
It's
Deal with
absolutely
it.
the gauntlet. It's really hype.
Well, tell me.
Yeah, no, I'm just really looking forward to it because I feel like this playoffs, it's been a lot of mismatches, and I've been really excited to, for once, I don't know, I feel like I could predict 3-0 for every single one, and finally we have some really high matchups, and I don't even know who's going to win. I think I'm leaning towards Nords. I think. What are you about? Artrum, you know what? We always get our opinions. What about you?
my biggest concern is SLT versus Chachi. I think Chachi is a beast on its own.
Yeah.
And SLT might not be ready because on the rest of the map, I do believe it's pretty fair. So if SLT shows up and is capable of at least tying up versus Chachi, this could be a 5-banger of a series. If not, I'm leaning towards the 3-0, not the 3-1, because if you do it, you're spineless.
You calling SLT
I'm gonna
a fraud?
give it. I'm gonna say Nord.
I think that's a fair bet. I will say though, my biggest worry about this is the fact that one of these teams will miss out on EMEA Masters. If only we had 4 seeds, Riot.
Wow.
Because I want to see
If
all of
only
the.
after winning back to back, imagine.
I would love to see all 4 of these teams. I think they're distinct in their own way, right? We've got the underdog, the big name players as well. And I would love to see them all go. One team.
Okay.
I think the biggest loser will have to go home
Duckling.
without anything.
gonna do
That's
it.
the worry.
Duckling, who's going to Sweden?
Who's going to Sweden?
Oh.
Lost for Tones and honestly, my gut feeling says Verdant. They really cleaned up a lot of stuff.
Okay,
Lost for
I'm
Tones
Rich
and
Gang.
Verdant.
Rich Gang Lost Returns.
Rich Gang!
Rich
I
Gang
love
are gonna
that
beat Lost
prediction.
Returners.
I love
Rich Gang
that
are gonna beat
prediction.
Lost Returners next week,
I'm
and the Lost
on the
Returners are
Rich
gonna do
Gang
lower
hype train
bracket.
too. I'll say you might say you were early on the Rich Gang hype train. I'll say the first. The first day we saw them, I say these guys are the outsiders to challenge for the top 3.
Yeah.
And they proved that. And they're living up to
You
their
know
name of
what?
shattering
Archer.
expectations. We're
Aragon.
getting into too much talk for next week, but it's so exciting. I can't wait.
Rich
I'm
Gang
gonna
beat Lost
say it.
Returners.
I think they can. I think they can. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a 5 series. I think it's going to be a 5 series if that happens, or the 3-0 for LR. You know what? Marvel has been in shambles, but if that happens, MCU has nothing on NLC.
Sure.
If Rich Gang wins versus LR and LR goes through the lower bracket, clean. Talk to us, Marvel. We got the script, but we also got Leagues Disrupt for you. It's time to buy that ticket. Man, you heard this yapping, so you know it's going to be peak cinema. We also have good soundtracks with K-pop. We also have Duckling. I mean, I think nobody knows this, but Duckling, before joining esports, was a ballerina. So
No,
he's going to be performing on stage
You're
as
lying
well.
so much, man. You're
That's
I
lying
gonna
heard,
be
so
I,
much.
I heard that
big,
from my
big.
guy as well. I heard that from my guy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Someone told us that information, Duckling. Sorry, I'm just saying. So buy that ticket and join us. Final words of the day, gentlemen.
I'm working with frauds. You all are
I
liars.
bet Duckling looks good in a what's it called? Like what's it called that the ballerinas wear? The dress that spins
just
around.
shut
A
up.
tutu.
Shut up
A
and
tutu.
throw
I
it to
bet
the
you
end.
do.
I hate you, Aragon. I hate you, Ashram. I'll sue you both for slander, and I'll contact HR. The NLC is done. Thank
Throw
you
your
for
beard
today.
back,
Hey,
man.
you know the email for HR, don't you? Ashram. Tell me, ashramgmail.com/spam. I'll see you soon, and until then, share it.
Oh, no. Not again.
In the north, where the ping is low and the egos are high, there is only one rule, baby. Shut up this room. Shut up this room. Shut up this room. Shut up this room. Ooh. Ha ha ha. We back at the dream in a dodgy old strap. Got chaos in my trunk and a rat in my hat. The GPS in danger, but I proxy like a chef. It's bossy time, baby. That's a good death. Got chased by bulldogs, no bark, no bite. Told to touch some grass, but that's on Verdant side. Could have gone but I followed my feeling. Guess what, baby? We're in Sweden. More than just some players, it's the retired legion. Say just a game, but it's more than a feeling. We're breaking the silence, volume increase. Shut up, shut up, shut up. It's time for Leagues Disrupt. We fight through the pain, cause we call that healing. From Solo Q to the northern region. They fight for the glory, the thrill, so just shut up, shut up, shut up. It's time for Leagues Disrupt. Ooh. Wait, you're not convinced yet? Okay, let me tell you why you need that ticket. Double time. Reddy's got a plan, but it's looking kinda sus. I'm toxic like sins, like ping as I run. We're from the north with the dodge fights. You might say our draft is weird. Hey, we won a meal twice. Lost out on this quick sneak on the run on the heights. We got Kranis cooking with a snipe, so precise. Valley be lurking in jungle, so sick in my thick as a water game when he shows that puppy pick. Lucky the north, so storm in July. Young cuz gets first blood, blink once and you die. Bring legends back, shares like a Marvel arc. Music such as split, pushing and we call that art. I'm spitting like ass, got skill in my shots, critsing harder than Shinx when she pops. So it says the RLs are on the decline. Esports usually get views with us as a headline. More than just some players, it's the retired legion.